Hey everybody, how are we doing, chat? Oh goody, already kicking it off. Excuse me. Hey Buzz Skywalker, playing Minecraft. Fuck yeah, let's go. Yeah, no, the measles outbreak, let's actually cover that real quick. Cause from what I understand, and I'm so glad my girlfriend just left Texas and is on her way up here. Yeah. Texas measles outbreak, thanks USA Today. Here's why it's not going away anytime soon. Whiskey Bitness, you said commander on deck, and my brain was like, commander deck, what? Lady. Ow, 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 ow. Hey, okay, you are full of friggin' beans, dog. Okay, yes, I will play with your toy. We'll throw. Go get. Good. Go get. No, I didn't mean it like that. Shuffling cards and thinking about math. Damn, no. Oh, critical ox. I'm so sorry. You know, it's weird. I don't mean it's weird, but it's, serendipity is probably the right term for it, but, my dad died 7 years ago today, actually. So, I obviously I don't know what you're going through losing a sibling, but I do know what that loss is like, and I do remember it very well, even 7 years ago. Lady, please. Lady pulse. Hello. You are just a little bean dog. You were just a little jumping bean. Where's your bone? Bone. Go get bone. Oh my goodness, this dog. I'm sorry, everybody. Is there a website I go to, or is YouTube chat the main one? YouTube chat or Twitch chat. Critical Ox, my sister was a fan of yours. Well, I am glad that, sorry. I am glad that you're able to be here, and that we are able to support you right now. it's been a really fucking hard time lately. I'm not just talking about for myself. Devil Eater Jake, thank you for 69. I've been going through it. But so many people are just in a, I feel like we're just stuck in this state of loss. I think I talked about it a couple weeks ago, but like a couple of my friends have lost people very close to them lately. And yeah. I don't really know kind of what else to do, what else to say. Sorry, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I saw somebody was asking not to change the Dev Leader Jake, you're fine. You're fine. Not to change the tone. Right. Cuz like I mentioned, this is the anniversary of my dad's death, passing. And Ox Critical in the chat for people wondering, just coming in now, seeing it. Ox Critical lost a sister. And it's really, it's always hard. I don't know how recently you lost your sister. I don't know what the circumstances were. You don't have to share, obviously, in the chat if you don't want to. For me, it was the suddenness of it. This has happened when I've lost pets too, because I've never had a pet. Well, that's not true. My childhood dogs, and granted this is very different than a person, I understand that. But just on the subject of loss, my childhood dogs were able to kind of grow old, and when animals are able to grow old, you can kind of see it coming. And I think that allows you to, much like when parents, siblings, everybody else grows old, or there's a long tail of illness, or whatever form it may take, there's a difference between when that happens and when it's sudden. And hello dog, hello, my goodness, you are just, ow, she died of pneumonia. Oh, I am so sorry, lady. Seriously, I'm gonna put you in the kitchen. I'm gonna put you in prison, dog jail, prison for life. Life sentence in the pupper penal colony. You'll be cracking rocks, pup. I point my finger at her and she just nuzzles underneath it to get pets. Last Tuesday she died of pneumonia. That is... I mean, pneumonia is one of those things that Like, I would count that as sudden. Because somebody says, oh yeah, I came down with pneumonia. Especially if I'm assuming she wasn't super old. I'm assuming she wasn't, like, elderly. If she was a fan of mine and if you're in here. And so the idea of pneumonia taking somebody is... I can identify with that kind of very sudden hit. That's rough. Werix, man, having to pick between Dead Domain and Riverboat Jack. It is... It's gonna be a night, and I know Jack has been... I haven't been watching... when I raid her streams, I'll watch some of her content, but, yeah, 35. Like, fuck. Nobody thinks a 35-year-old getting pneumonia is gonna be like... Yeah, is there... Ox, and maybe if you don't want to, you don't have to, but if there's any kind of fundraiser, or if you need help with any kind of funeral expenses, feel free to post that in the chat and we can share it around. If that is something that you or your family need any help with. And that is a standing offer. If that's something that you want to do next stream, that's completely understandable. Yeah, B Parker, Jack's stream, it's hard to watch other content creators right now who kind of do what I do, because there's a lot of fatalism. There's a lot of just bad shit right now. And it's really fucking hard to... Sorry, my dog is now trying to pull me. God, she has been obsessed with shit. Like, she's like a kid that goes in, like, phases with her favorite toy or her favorite, like, whatever. And she has been in a big tug phase lately. Yeah, really quick. I know somebody mentioned it because somebody wanted to see it. But I've talked about before, and we'll get back on track, or back, you know, to whatever track we had. I've talked about it before, but I make my own, like, custom magic cards. And part of I've been in a major depressive slump lately. And part of that, part of my realizing that I may have more autism than I originally thought is that my primary method of distracting myself when I'm really fucking depressed is building commander decks, building magic commander decks. And to give you an idea of how it is, my depression has exponentially gotten worse since, since the election, obviously, but even a couple months before that, when the condo fell through, for obvious reasons, because I hate the apartment I'm in now. Like, my faucet doesn't even work anymore, and I'm tired of having people come and, like, fix it for it to work for like 3 days, and then it just straight up doesn't work. So I've really taken to burying myself in, like, it has become kind of a mindless creative endeavor, and which is why I have, how many vampire decks do I have? I have 2 Grixis vampire decks. I have Selesnya vampires, Golgari vampires, Dimir vampires, Mardu vampires, 2 Orzhov vampires, 5. So I have like 9 vampire decks to, like, give an eye. And I'm not talking, by the way, I should say, because I know a lot of people out there are probably like, oh my god, like a full commander deck. Like I'm not at like CEDH level. I'm talking maybe 2 to 3 on the bracket, right? But all of that is to say that I have one fun side effect is hey DD, I'm local. Do you have they replaced the faucet or just fixed it? Bathroom or kitchen? Kitchen, they have not replaced it. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Thoughts on people that work on a Harry Potter IP? I mean, like, well, I'm gonna show one of the custom cards I made. I just finished last night for one of my favorite commanders, and I actually see. I can probably, yeah. Let me just actually show it on. The picture is going to be better than me holding it up to the candle. Yeah, I was super pumped, and then I have it has been a dumb nightmare because I have been just, yeah, it's a whole thing. My life is kind of a mess, and I'm waiting to hear about how much fucking taxes I owe to this dog shit government this year. Hey, we're gonna get $5,000, right? Bullshit. Thank you very much, Terribilly Jane. Yeah, B Parker, I saw I literally, when I saw the Monolith news, my jaw fell. I was like, oh, like a studio that never made a bad game. Like, fucking heartbreaking. I don't, is NetherRealm, is Mortal Kombat even fucking safe anymore? Like, holy shit. To answer somebody asking about thoughts on people that work on the Harry Potter IP. I don't care. People, like, here's the thing. If you are working on something as like an artist, if you are hired on and you are working as like a CG artist, like, people got to eat. People got to put food on the table. Yeah. Lils, how does Selesnya vamps work? Galta and Mavrin. All white vampires, small little vampire tokens, and Galta. So it is big green stompies, big dinosaurs, little vampires, and Galta and Mavrin is a great fucking card because you can choose to play to the power of either go tall or go wide or go both. How do you make custom cards? Well, I use Card Conjurer. There's a downloadable kind of framework that you can download that has, it's incredibly detailed. It has nearly every kind of and mix of card frame you could want. Really can't recommend that enough. Really quick though, I do want to talk about Judith, and because I saw Lane ask about to see Judith, and that is what I want to show off before we get too started. This is a commander card that I made. This is my favorite commander currently, and this is the like kind of. I spent way too long last night making this. My favorite for now. No, Judith is pretty. I don't know. My Judith deck is getting kind of heinous, and I think some people are mad at me for some of the stuff I do with it. But I also got a. It's kind of funny because I thought it would take way longer. The first order took way longer, but I ordered some more like custom proxies. Not this one because I made this after I ordered them, but actual card stock and stuff. And so now I have a bunch of like Witcher themed, just like staples like Swords to Plowshares and Brainstorm and stuff like that, and some like art that was used on Magic Arena, but that's never been printed on cards. I used for some other stuff. So anyway, lady, ow, Jesus, dog. Oh, this is a Magic card. Yeah, you can see. Like I've just kind of made it look like some of the other Innistrad. Lady, ow, ow. Yeah, so like a very popular style of card has become these kind of like either movie poster or old. There's been a bunch of like secret layers that are kind of like, oh, here's, you know, it's made to look like a paperback novel or something like that. And so I was kind of trying to do that, but for a modern take on a like Rakdos Murder Carnival flyer. Did I get hit with the RC bans a while back? No, not to. No, there was nothing really, and again, that's the level I'm not playing at. Like, if somebody's like, "Oh no, Mana Crypt is out," I'm like, I don't have a Mana Crypt. No, Lane Kaplan, Judith came out last year. Judith is Markov Manor. You're thinking of Scourge Diva. Carnage Connoisseur is Karlov Manor. Karlov Manor? God damn it. I get mixed up. Karlov Manor. Scourge Diva is the original Judith. Yeah, Kai, this is Magic the Gathering. But so this one, I had to make all on my own. So I I looked up like old-timey frames. I looked up chain PNGs. I had to color everything. I had to find all the different fonts. I had to find like, okay, here's like a burnt paper, so it looks kind of like the edge down here where the power and toughness is burning through. But like, you can just make cards. This is like a top to bottom original joint, but you can just go and make whatever fucking cards you want. Ooh, Vadric Astral Archmage deck and my Indominus Rex deck. Fun. Yeah, so that's the other thing, is that I do love altars. And I've started... What altars do I have in here? I don't know. The people I play with don't generally care about proxies, right? And that works for me. Because I don't like... I am never going to spend... What's the most I've ever spent on a single card? I think the most I've ever spent on a single card was Marilyn, the Morn Song, and that's just because it was a one printing rare from like over a decade ago, and my copy is like kind of old and busted. I think I paid like $10. Like it couldn't have been more than 10. And so like I have people who... Like, I know at the store or at the LGS I go to that I see all the time, and they'll be trying to tinker their decks and like, ooh, Bloodthirsty Conqueror, or, oh, damn, they got, not Gaia's Cradle. Just like something, good, Tyrian Soul Cleaver or some shit. And I'm like, if a card goes, I think if a card goes above $5, that's like a hard cutoff for me. Yeah, singles are like, nah. Unless it's a really, really old one. But even then, I don't think I spent that much, because I'm like, I just bought like the Homelands Sengir Vampire line, and I don't think I spent more than $10 for all of them. Because bills and bullshit. No, so here's the great part. OG Edgar Markov from the Commander precons for 85. Honestly, 85 ain't bad. 85 for that Markov precon ain't bad. I know, Elaine Kaplan, I know they're not very good. I'm gonna see if I can try and make them good. I'm on a huge vampire kick right now. But I also, another fun part, here's one of them I did. Here's a Phyrexian arena I made with some unused art from Duskmorn. Okay, Verity, thank you so much. Here is, so the website I use, I can't recommend it enough, especially because this shipment that just shipped out shipped so quickly. Like, it came today and I was like, what? Excuse me? And they are great because they have old secret layers and stuff that you can proxy. So, for example, if you are, like me, a fan of Frank Franzetta, you can get the Frank Franzetta secret layer Dark Ritual as part of a bigger order for like 50 cents. Because I do have a Dark Ritual, so I can just proxy one. You can get cool full art cards. You can get the special guest Morbid Opportunist from Thunder Junction. Here's one of the Witcher cards. Whoa, 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 whoa. Critical Ox, you can post that link right in chat. It wasn't Card Kingdom, it's MTG Print. MTG Print. Here is one of the, I'll go to, oh, lady, goodness gracious. She has her toy, she is, call that puppy girl takeover. Here is one of the Witcher cards I made. It's a little fuzzy on there, but it's a Burnished Heart, and it's a Leshen. Fun part is that the Witcher card games, like the digital card games, have a ton of extremely high links get auto-filtered out. Banana Brains, are you able to do that? Are you able to change that? Yeah, send it to me on Twitter or Blue Sky. I will check in a couple minutes. My Twitter should be open. My Blue Sky should be open. I believe it's mtgprint.net. Let me check. Yeah, it is mtgprint.net. No, wait, never mind. No, it's not. It is mtg-print.com. Sorry. Yeah. And what are some of the other ones? But yeah, it's just been a nice way to trick out decks, get extra cards when I'm building stuff, because I want more. You know, you can never have too many Skull Clamps, Burnished Hearts, Solemn Simulacrums, Morbid Opportunists. Anyway, sorry if you couldn't tell, this is my hyperfixation right now. I was able to get the Yoji Shinkawa Skull Clamp art now, so I don't have to pay $40 for whatever that is. Or it's got to be more than 40. Ooh, and I was able to get Gold Border Ashnod's Altar. Let's go. Let's fucking go, chat. Anyway. Sorry. All right, I'm putting Judith away. Take one last look at the baby girl. I'm honestly blown away at how she came out. Every time I look at her, I'm like, damn, I did that. That's all right. Okay. Do I like peach rings? I do like peach rings. XP? Who cares? Who? XP, I'm trying to like chill for a little bit before going into awful shit. I don't know. I feel left out. Let's see. VL, thank you. Thank you. Oh, I wasn't talking to you, domain. Okay. Okay. Follow the chat. I'm trying. The chat is going by pretty hard. Simply Cat, gave up MTG when I got sick after a year of treatments. My test came back normal today. I feel like the universe is telling me to pull those out of the college. Oh, be careful. Be careful. It is. Oh. Favorite cards from Aether Drift? All the cards I have in my winter deck, and that's it. I bounced the fuck off of Aether Drift in a way that I haven't with even sets like Karlov Manor. All right, so no, we need to watch Bill Maher first because we're in hell, and the only way to go down is down. How tall am I? I am 5'11". Leah, I would like to, but I do want to get on with actual, well, news and stuff. Got like 4 packs of Aether Drift. Yeah, I did a pre-release and I got a bundle with some credit I had at a local store, and then I literally went and I was like, you know what? I want the Duskmourn cards, and that's it. So I just ended up getting all of the Duskmourn cards. Wow! Oh, lady. Yeah, I'm very excited for Final Fantasy, unfortunately. Yes, Johnny Viral, thank you. You're the best, like, evangelist for my show. Yeah, go check out Podatog, the only Magic the Gathering podcast where you can find me and my friend Bugs Matrix talking about Magic the Gathering. And this episode, it might be a little bit late this week, but it's going to be super fun because not only will we be talking about my regular Commander shenanigans, but Bugs went to MagicCon Chicago and has been hanging out with a bunch of cool cats and kittens like Dark Pact cosplay. Yeah, it's my Duskmourn vehicle thing is just, it's dumb. It's real dumb. I can't imagine it's more than a 2. I've yet to really play a full game with it. Kind of like my mono red vampires too. I forgot about that in my stacking up of vampire decks. Government building that got hacked. Oh yeah. No, I see you, Mason. Nobody is free. Oh, spending $5 or $10 on a Magic the Gathering card is excessive. I mean, it depends on what the card is. Like you say that until you get pub stomped and you see a thing that is like, you know what? Actually, this could change my whole shit around. Like this could change everything for me. Which is just, it is dumb. I'm not going to defend it. Yeah, what do we think? Just because I want to steep a little bit before we jump right into the real bullshit. I want to marinate in some vitriol. I got to rev my engines, right? I mean, like, I have, if y'all want to talk about excessive Magic cards really quick, last thing I'm going to say about Magic. I have, here's my, this is like, last time I checked, this is a $115 card. I pulled this from a pack. This is the full art Sheoldred foil from Dominaria. Although I didn't pull this from a Dominaria pack. I know I pulled this from a Phyrexia pack. So they must have put that in there. And the pastry resistance, my serialized Edgar Markov, which, hey, if somebody has $4,000 and you want your own number 399 serialized Edgar Markov, if you got $4,000, I got taxes coming up, so like hit me up. Hit me up. Let's go. Let's do it. It is such a gorgeous card, and I still can't fucking believe they gave it the ranking they did over literally the most minor flaw. That the more I look at it, I'm like, that had to have been off the machine like that. But whatever. It's fine. I know, misanthropic. Only 4,000. That's. I'll start at 4,000. I'll start at 4,000. XP. I did not buy that card for $4,000. I got it. Graded so that I don't have to fucking worry about damaging it because it is just money on a stick. But no, I got that from the second... Is it second? Yeah, the second Innistrad Remastered collector booster I opened. Like, a month ago now. When I went, I was super... I love Innistrad. Super excited for Innistrad Remastered. I had credit. I was like, you know what? It was literally like that dumbass SpongeBob meme of like, fire up the... Rev up those fryers, boys. And I just walked into my LGS. I was like, I'll take 2 of those. I'll take 3 of those. Let's go. And I went, and here's the fucking dumb part, is I went to a, like a sushi place. I've told this on stream too. I went to a sushi place that I usually go to do a lot of writing when I'm either writing my scripts or writing or doing research for a video. I wrote a not insignificant portion of the several thousand word essay on the history of anti-Semitism there. And so I'm sitting down, I'm like, okay, I'll crack something cool, maybe. And literally the last card in the last pack I opened was the Edgar Markov. And I'm sitting there, I just ordered food, and I'm like fucking stunned. Yeah, it is badonkers. Oh, okay. Sorry. Why about me mentioning spending $85 called it bragging? Let's not gang up on XP. They're explaining themselves well. I am just in a zone to talk about my dumb hobbies. Somebody asked, where did you pull the card? LGS, do they have more of those? I mean, it's from the it's just from the Innistrad Remastered boosters. I mean, that one wasn't. That was from a collector booster, but like all the other ones I've done boosters. All right, I keep putting it off, and I think at this point it's just because I don't want to hear his dumbass voice, but yeah, no, Kringus Ringus, my best booster pack experience was like a decade ago, looking at New Phyrexia, thinking I kind of wanted an Elishnorn, and opening one pack, and she was there. My love was fated to be. That's me and Shelly. That's me and Shouldered. I showed it on stream. The Shouldered, first Shouldered, I say first because I've opened 3. The first Shouldered I opened was from a Dominaria United collector pack. I opened it on stream. I was like, oh, it'd be cool if I got one. Got it. And then I was like, you know what? I want some of the... There was like a couple uncommons in Dominaria I wanted. I don't remember what they were, but it was like, yeah, I want... all the cards I'm thinking of right now are from Brothers War, but whatever. And I got one pack. I literally bought one fucking Dominaria United pack. And it was a draft booster, too. Because that was all they had at the LGS. It was a draft booster. Not even a set booster. Bring your toy. Bring your toy. Hey, stop scratching me. Your sharp little claws keep messing me up. Okay. Anyway, sorry. All right, no more talking about magic. We've talked about magic for like 40 minutes. Go listen to Podatog. Yes, spinning chicken nugget. I am sorry. All right, let's... I've just been... All right, fine. I gotta pull the trigger at some point.
The Democratic position is leave it up to parents, doctors. Just leave. It's not the government's decision. That's the Democratic position. What's wrong with that position? Joe Biden.
Well, the Democratic position in this state, the school has the right to hide it from the parents. That is something that is not going to go well with the average voter. And again, I'm not even a parent, and I get it. Okay? I think the governor here used the word...
I'm not even a parent, and I get it. Do you? Do you, Bill? Do you get why schools might not do that? Because I know conservatives, it's the same story as, if you remember when I was when I went to the hate church, they were telling a lie about it was the Washington, okay, no, seriously, dog. Washington State, has a law about trans kids being able to get, if they flee their home, being able to get healthcare, trans healthcare. And the way that right-wing media picked it up and the way that the hate church, of course, spun it was that, oh, the government is going to abduct your kids and give them trans healthcare, which is not what's fucking happening. Like, and you know that's not what's fucking happening. And engaging with it on that level, accepting those terms, which he's already framing it as. Like, that, from the offset, he's like, well, you can see that in schools, they're gonna have the parents not know about the kids' transgenderism. It's like, no. Those teachers are there for their kids if that's what they need. If they need a support system when those kids are not able to have that at home. Because an increasing number of people like you, Bill, are dipshits who don't understand how any of this actually fucking works. Since when did Bill Maher start looking like Larry King? Oh, that's fucking true. That's crazy.
Snitch. If I'm wrong, I didn't say it.
So
I think I read that.
There are delicate problems here. But wait. There's delicate problems here. And there's a delicate problem where you have a kid, all right, who is either non-binary or trans, who feels scared at home, feels unsafe at home. Those things do happen in the world. There are things that happen in the world. But for the most part, that's not what we're talking about. For the most part, what we're talking about is a teenager. They have a gender dysmorphia. So what they feel like is that they feel deeply unhappy, depression, all really rampant.
Yes,
and they go to their parents.
They feel that, and then they blame it on the thing that has been put in their mind way too...
So here's the thing. And I understand Pod Save America. This is very okay. Sorry, I need to go back through and answer some messages. King Cyrus the Great, thank you for $5. There's a reason why Bill never invites Ben Affleck and Matt Damon on his shows. Bill is afraid. Oh yeah, God, that Ben Affleck clip is one of my fucking favorites. Oh, I love that. Iki the Shaky, thank you for $3. Hey DD and pals, hope you're all right. Last night was pretty horrifying, so I hope things look up with mocking the godless oligarch pillagers. Oh, and Bill Maher, he sucks too. I hope everything is okay with you, Iki. And then I completely fucking forgot, Brody. Sorry, 24 minutes ago, $5. Thoughts on established actors and producers, though, working on the Harry Potter IP. I'm a little confused. John Lithgow is rumored for an HP series, and I feel like cool, but Etsu. John Lithgow, I think, was rumored to be playing Dumbledore or accepted Dumbledore or something like that, and that absolutely does not surprise me. John Lithgow has been very subtly, he's one of those people, he's kind of like Jason Isaacs, where he's been very subtly on J.K. Rowling's side and hasn't really strayed from that publicly. And I think he's also, was it John Lithgow or another? No, I think it was John Lithgow who was talking about like wokeness and all that shit a couple years ago. Let me... Yep, look, Ben Affleck, Bill Maher. Let's watch that real quick. Oh, I don't want to... All right, 10 years ago. It's my guy. See, here's the fucking thing.
For the last few years, Bill Maher has sparked controversy for his views on religion, particularly...
I think Ben Affleck and Matt Damon in particular, and fuck Casey Affleck for various reasons, but Ben Affleck, I think Ben is more of a real one than people give him credit for. Like I really think he's him and oh fuck, no, you're right. You are right. I am thinking of John Cleese. Fuck. I'm thinking of a different old white dude. No, you're absolutely right. Fuck John Cleese, and I already forgot who the other dude was. I get them mixed up all the time.
Lately, he's been defending those views by saying he's just speaking uncomfortable truths. He's standing up for the principles of all liberalism.
No, XP, I can see your comments.
In the Muslim world, that is what's lacking. On Friday's HBO's Real Time, Ben Affleck pushed back against this criticism.
Ganj, I am dead to main. My name is Jordan.
You're saying that Islamophobia is not a real thing. That if you're critical of something...
Well, it's not a real thing when we do it.
Right.
Well, no,
it really isn't.
I'm not denying that certain people are bigoted against Muslims as people. And that's a problem.
Big of you.
But
But why are you so hostile about this?
It's gross. It's racist.
It's not. But it's so not.
It's like saying those
so not. You're
shifty Jew.
You're not listening
Absolutely
to
not.
what we are saying.
You guys are saying if you want to be liberals, believe in liberal principles like freedom of speech, like we are endowed by our forefathers with an inalienable rights, like all men are created equal.
Ben, we have to be able to criticize bad ideas. And
of course we do. No liberal doesn't want to criticize bad ideas.
But Islam at this moment is the mother lode of bad ideas.
Jesus.
So we have
That's
ideas
just a
like
fact.
blasphemy.
It is
It's an ugly thing.
Apostasy.
How about the more than a billion people who aren't fanatical, who don't punch women, who just want to go to the store,
wait a second.
sandwiches,
Wait a second.
times a day,
Wait a
don't do
second.
any of the things, but you're saying all Muslims.
Wait a second.
Wait.
Stereotyping.
I'm not saying all.
And you know what? He's absolutely fucking right. He is absolutely 1,000% right. Because when Bill Maher, whenever Bill Maher interacts in any way with fucking Islam, and it's been this way for, 20 years. He is... wait, hang on. Swamp Frog person. Am I missing something, or are they saying Islamophobia is okay because we have decided Islam is unacceptable and believers are less than? So what we're kind of coming in the middle of a conversation, if I'm remembering right. The way that Bill Maher and a lot of people like to criticize Islam is a blanket overestimation of everybody in the Muslim believing world being in favor of the most radical aspects of Islam, which is literally the equivalent of if you took like the NIFB, if you took the hate church that I've covered, the ridiculously insane misreadings and political extremism of the hate church, and you said, well, that's obviously all of America, because look, we have an evangelical lobby. We have conservative governments, and it's like, no, what Bill Maher is doing is essentially doing that, but with the entire Muslim world, and I shouldn't even say Muslim world, I should say Arab world, because it is the Middle Eastern countries that he looks at and sees. It's the same kind of subtle racism that has led to moments like we're in now, where so many people just like kind of turn and shrug at rampant deaths of Palestinian men, women, and children. It's the same fucking thing that, sorry, I haven't talked about Palestine in a while, and I'm I'm on one. It's the same fucking thing that like this subtle American jingoism and racism over the last 20 years where we have just had it ingrained in us that, oh, all Muslims want to kill you. All Muslims hate America. All Muslims want to ruin your way of life. And that leads people to just this callous indifference when you see children's bodies being held by their parents and you go like, well, yeah, but if you were gay and you were over there, they'd kill you. And it's just like, that's not, oh my God. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, Ben Affleck, always a fucking real one for this. Always a fucking real one for this. So let's go back to thing understander Bill Maher, who, oh, like Ganj, don't get me wrong. Like, and here's the thing. I think the difference between what Ben Affleck was saying and what Bill Maher was saying is that Ben Affleck was saying, okay, just because there are politically extreme elements, nobody is debating. And again, taking Ben Affleck's side here, nobody is debating that there are politically extreme elements to Islam, that there are authoritarian elements to Islam, that that authoritarian radical Islam has been bad for women and children and queer people. Nobody's debating that. But you cannot just write off an entire group, the largest organized religion in the world that is full of imams and mosques who are accepting of queer people, who are accepting of other gender identities, who are accepting of same-sex marriage, who are reforming their own religion. In ways broadly, Christianity does not fucking appear to be making the same sweeping changes. And what Ben was really saying is that, like, it is racist to look at the entire Arab population, the entire Muslim world, and be like, oh, well, they're all extremists. We can't, it's the, again, it comes back to the same fucking racism that when you see brown people of any stripe moving into your neighborhood, it's these dumbass Nazi accounts on Twitter being like, oh, Switzerland is under attack, Germany is under attack, they're being invaded. And it's like, you know nothing about these people. You know the color of their fucking skin. And it,
too much that it may be because of you're in the wrong body, to put it probably wrongly, but sure, that we understand what that means. Okay.
Okay. So before somebody, I love how I get off on tangents on the littlest things, and so I just spent like 10 minutes talking about Ben Affleck when I was like, oh yeah, no, I was originally going to say a different thing. Before somebody got me off on that tangent, I wanted to talk about the person he's interacting with, John Lovett from Pod Save America, who I'm broadly not really familiar with. Pod Save, who's my favorite Batman? Kevin Conroy. My three are Kevin Conroy, Michael Keaton, and Robert Pattinson. He does. Oh my God! You close your eyes. He does sound like Dennis Prager. That's fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy. Whoa, that's gonna fuck me up. John Lovett, he's doing it. It's the same thing you get when you have, I don't want to say well-intentioned and Destiny in the same sense, because he's not. But when you see it a lot in spaces with people like Destiny, Zayan, Vosh, in the kind of debate bro-ish arenas. I think they all still do that. I don't really keep up with any of them. Where they go on and they argue their point, but they're arguing from the perspective of being a cis, straight, white man. And so they don't have they go by essentially other people's testimony, and I feel like it is really it's hard to it's hard for me to watch because I'm like, no, there are better ways that you can explain these concepts and topics in a way that might make more sense to somebody like Bill. But it's really... What am I trying to say? Oh, sorry. I completely fucking forgot about. Annabella B, thank you for 286. Have been watching you for a while now. You've been such a big inspiration for me to learn more to effectively dismantle transphobic and other adjustment arguments from the Trumpies. Love from New Zealand. Thank you so much, Alana. Solar Lander, thank you for 16 months. Goodness me. Love it is gay. I am saying they're still arguing from in this case, I am saying that they are still arguing from the perspective of a man. Somebody who is not trans. Right? If that makes sense. And it just feels that way. Like it just feels like a kind of defense where they have more skin in the game on winning / losing a debate than they do of actually making a principled stance. If that makes sense. I feel like that might not.
That case, when Trump said there's only two sexes, again, pendulum swinging way too far to stupidity, okay? Obviously,
Jesus fucking
sex
Christ.
is more complicated than just case. When Trump said there's only two sexes, again, pendulum swinging way too far to stupidity, okay? Obviously, sex is more complicated than just two sexes.
Mm-hmm.
There are people who absolutely are, quote unquote, in the wrong body. But when you're...
And that's the thing already. That's a good example and kind of what triggered this for me. Is just accepting the framework of being born in the wrong body, of the pod John going like, yeah, it's like that's a very outdated way to look at transness. That's a very outdated framework to address gender nonconformity and body dysmorphia and dysphoria. And I think like already that is creating this weird space to argue from that I don't. I don't know. There's something about it. I'm trying to find a way to put it into words.
Even a teenager, and you're that confused about everything, and you have no idea, and you're upset for many other reasons. The idea that they put it. Let me just finish.
I'm not saying it.
I know. I could see you are ready. I could see you pulling back the bow. The fact that they put this in their head too much. That's my thing. There's a default setting for humans, male and female, but there are variations. That's absolutely true. Some people are attracted to people of their own sex, and some people are actually in the quote-unquote wrong body, and that does happen. But the amount that they emphasize this, I compared it once on my show to entrapment.
So
see, there you go.
I disagree. I'm sorry. Is that not the end? Is it? No, I thought entrapment had a period at the end.
Could I explain it?
Yes,
though?
Explain. I mean, I think we all get it, but yeah, explain it. Entrapment.
I don't think everybody does get it.
Okay, explain it.
Okay. Well, what is entrapment? Entrapment is when you suggest something to people that they weren't ordinarily going to do. I used the example of after 9/11. The FBI got caught basically entrapping some people, which is what they went to people who were excuse me, I'm not done.
Right, I'm sorry. You're right. You're right. Honestly, that was rude. That was rude. That was rude.
You
Bill,
can't-
finish. You're explaining how
gotta read
being
the-
trans is like being recruited into Al Qaeda. Stupid and glib.
It is.
Yes.
Because it's not true.
Right.
And you didn't even let me get through the
You're
thing.
right.
And now I got to go.
You're just gonna leave? We're in the middle of a debate.
Yeah. No. Okay. I'll finish this. Entrapment. Like, okay, so they go to somebody. They go to a group of guys. They did this in a group of poor black guys in Miami, and were unhappy with America. And you know, hey, wouldn't it be great if we blew up the Sears Tower in Chicago? And these guys didn't even have a gun. And it's like, yeah. I hate America, or I got problems with America. That does sound kind of cool. And hey, well, we can get you the explosives. That's entrapment. Okay, you put an idea in people's heads that wouldn't have been there otherwise.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I want to talk about this and see again. So this is a really good example of something that I look at and I'm like, okay, like put me in the ring, coach. Like let me in there. Because I can tell you, and this is firsthand experience, I wish I knew about being trans earlier in my life. I wish I knew there were other people like me earlier in my life. I wish that every depiction of transness in the media through my entire fucking upbringing in the early 2000s, I wish every trans person wasn't depicted as some variation of a disgusting prostitute or a murder victim or some poor, unfortunate, helpless soul. Because that's what the T-slur was to so many people growing up. And the idea of ever entertaining notions about being gender nonconforming, about not fitting into a rigid gender binary, meant falling into that area. And that kind of rigidity, I wish somebody put other ideas in my fucking head. I wish someone put ideas about gender nonconformity and what it actually meant. I wish I got to learn about other genders, other historical gender expressions from across hundreds, thousands of years and dozens of cultures all over the world. But I didn't. I didn't know what non-binary was until somebody assumed I was non-binary because I was experimenting with things like eyeshadow and nail polish. And I wasn't doing good at them. But I was hanging out with a friend from work one night and they just used they, them pronouns and they're like, oh, sorry, I assumed you were non-binary. And I had no fucking idea at the time what that was. And when I went and looked it up, and I saw that there were so many other people telling their story about how they had felt the things that I had spent my entire fucking life feeling. Things that I had never been able to examine or put into words for fear of what it might mean for everybody else to look at me. Being afraid of what my family or friends or loved ones would think of me. So the idea that Bill Maher is saying being trans is like entrapment because you have these kids, which I believe is where he's fucking going. You have these kids who are, they don't have these ideas on their own. The ideas are being put in their heads. Fuck you, dude.
Do I think in most of America they did that in schools? I don't. But I think in enough far left places they did constantly have this idea in the minds of children that maybe you're not in the right body. I mean, the New England Journal of Medicine advocated for taking sex off of a birth certificate, I believe. You're assigned sex at
assigned
birth.
Says at birth.
Assigned.
Yeah.
You're assigned.
I think that's right.
I was assigned it by my dick, okay, when I was born. Yes, and again, to tell kids it doesn't always have to be and isn't always the default setting, but that's a different mentality than they put in the minds of kids. And that's why
he's trying to have his fucking centrist liberal cake and eat it too. It's not. The things that he's talking about are completely fucking intertwined. Excuse me. Aaron W. Nichols, thank you for $2. Bill Maher's DNC flavored Tucker Carlson. God, honestly worse. Reductive and crass argument, Bill. I mean, that's all he really fucking has.
This debate goes on. And the fact that you think, or a lot of people on the left think that even if you just have this debate, it makes you a bigot, you just have to roll over. You have
No, nobody's saying that because you're having this debate, they think you're a bigot. You're a bigot because you are not listening to people. Like, quite obvious from the framework he's arguing from. He is not listening to the people tangibly affected by these things. And the arguments he's advocating and believing, by the way, the things he's accepting about, oh, well, some schools are just too far to the left and they're making the kids, they're transing the kids. Not only are you buying into literal bigoted propaganda, but worse than that, you are allowing that bigotry to thrive and continue going, continue infecting the rest of the culture.
About the Biden administration. That was their position. If you even question this, you're some sort of a bigot. This is new science, and it has to do with children. It's not going to look good in the future, that position.
Can I just respond to something?
Now you can.
Now I can respond? All right. Can you just All right. Let's just
there's
a lot. You definitely said your piece.
Just say your bullshit while I'm in the bathroom.
Just stay for 1 second.
Okay, I'm kidding.
Unbelievable.
I'm kidding.
All right, no, I know. A lot of things there. First of all, this is going to sound confrontational. For a long time, people said, oh, older gay people are recruiting kids to be gay.
Okay. I want to see. I'm interested to see where he goes with this. I don't think he has the sauce. He doesn't look like somebody who has the sauce.
They're being groomed. That was the conservative position. The Christian right position for a long time was the reason you didn't want to have gay teachers is they're going to recruit. That the gay lifestyle is going to look so enticing and so exciting that it's going to bring these poor defenseless boys, mostly boys, into the gay lifestyle and destroy their lives. But of course that wasn't true. Really, all gay teachers were an example.
Right.
Right?
Okay. Sorry, John Lovett.
No transition.
More than a few.
But there are also really important surgeries that people get for their heart, and they go wrong, and somebody dies. And nobody says we must stop the cardiologists. No one says we must stop the surgeons. We say let's.
That's your analogy?
Well, my analogy is.
That's
only wait, let me finish.
God, what a fucking prick! Oh my God. This fucking guy. All right, hang on.
There are a few examples of people getting older and realizing that they shouldn't have transitioned. That happens. It's real. That's real.
Yeah, more than a few.
But there are also
no. It's not more than a few. God damn it! Fuck.
Really important surgeries that people get for their.
It is not more than a few. He has bought into this like reactionary worldview where it's like, yeah, so many people are out here getting surgeries and the kids are chopping their tits off. Like, he's such a crass, ridiculous animal. And it is just every aspect of him being some kind of a leftist or a liberal is just a fucking facade to cover for his reactionary bullshit. Woosah, center myself. Let's go.
Heart, and they go wrong, and somebody dies. And nobody says we must stop the cardiologists. No one says we must stop the surgeons. We say let's.
That's your analogy?
Well, my analogy is only that.
God, he is such a smug little cunt. Oh.
Wait, let me finish.
I'm just.
Can I finish?
Yes.
Is it my turn to talk?
No, you're right.
And what you say is, let's make sure that this version of it is being practiced well. We don't get rid of the specific surgery. We don't throw out a whole field of medicine. We say, let's make sure we're doing it in a way that's healthy. The science, the research, all right, makes clear that, yes, there are exceptions. Yes, there are people practicing it in ways that maybe go too far. But for the most part, study after study shows that gender-affirming care saves. I'm talking. It's my turn. I was so quiet for so long after I interrupted a few times.
But okay.
But once I stopped talking, boy, I was good at it. And that gender-affirming care saves a lot of lives. And the truth is, we talk about these edge cases, talk about athletes, talk about locker rooms, but for the most part, what we're talking about is a very small group of people that just want the opportunity to live and express themselves.
You know what? He kind of fucking gets it. Like, If we had more politicians arguing from this point of view, arguing with this kind of at least empathy and understanding, I think the libs would be in such a better fucking position.
And there is a war on that group of people from the right to make salient extreme cases, edge cases, not for the purposes of stopping those, but for doing what the Trump administration is doing entirely, which is stopping all gender affirming care altogether and making trans people fucking nervous when they have to pee at the airport, right? Which is the end result of all this.
And of course, that's awful, and I agree with all that.
No, you fucking don't. You can't say, oh my God, I agree with all that, and then just go on to be like, but yeah, they're all right. What the fuck are you talking about? I agree with all that. Here's more of their propaganda.
Except the part about the studies. There was a very big story this year. It was in the front page of the New York Times. A woman, I forget her name, and she had done, like, it was a 10-year study, did not release it on purpose because she said it would weaponize the argument from the other side. So in other words, it came out not the way you wanted the study to come out.
What the fuck are you even talking about? He's just going off of, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Not what you said. It is a mixed bag. That's true.
Okay.
Some people, yes, it's the right thing. But to take that risk at that age before you know shit about anything, yes, sometimes it's pretty obvious. It's a very hard call to make. And again, this was a very long study, very thorough, and they wouldn't release it because it came out with the wrong conclusion.
But because it is a hard question, because
Right.
it is a serious question,
Right.
it is a personal question. I don't want Donald Trump deciding. I want parents and doctors.
Well, you just said parents can get shut out.
I don't think parents should get shut out. There are rare exceptions to that. Look, we all believe that parents should have the decisions over their children, but we also recognize that some parents do such a bad fucking job that the kids are in danger. That happens outside of trans issues. That happens all the time. It's terrible. Some parents are fucking terrible. The fact that there are terrible parents in the world gets erased on these questions. Do I think that schools should, as a baseline, be keeping a secret from parents? Of fucking course not. No one thinks that.
Well,
no one thinks that.
Apparently that's not true. People do think.
Oh, what a smug, self-righteous.
And the least bad answer is to not have the government decide from above. It's just to leave it up to people and parents and the kids and the doctors, right? You want the government to ban gender-affirming care for kids?
You want to lose every election? Just keep coming down on the side.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here's the fucking enlightened liberal take of just like, well, yeah, because obviously it loses election. Look how unpopular it is. Meanwhile, like, again, oh my God. What was it that Kamala did for trans people? Now, I'm not talking about the propaganda the Trump campaign put out of like, Kamala, Trump is for you, Kamala's for they, them. Like, I'm not talking about that. What was it she actually did? Outside of empty, vague gesturing at promises. Outside of what some other people might call a concept of a plan. Like, the best you can say about her is that she wasn't targeting trans people. She also wasn't defending us. She also wasn't going out of her way to mount any kind of offensive against the propaganda and the lies, because the DNC, the Capitol Hill Democratic establishment, do not see trans people as a voter base worth defending, as a moral position. Do you want to know why? It's probably because they don't consider it to be a big enough voting block to worry about losing. Honestly, that's probably what it is. If you want to know, like, well, why will they they'll stick up for black people and Latino people and any other minority. They'll stick up for gays and lesbians, but like trans people, they kind of hang them out to dry. It's because they look at transness and they're like, you know what? We probably won't lose any poll numbers off of this. And the result is, when you do not have any counterattack to billions of dollars of weaponized propaganda. We saw this over the last 3 years. From PragerU, from the Daily Wire, from fucking Elon Musk, from Twitter. The rampant flood of transphobia, anti-LGBTQ content that galvanized the right into seeing this as a genuine issue in American culture. And when you have that tide, a overarching wave of anti-trans, anti-queer sentiment, and you have nothing to buffer against it, you have no dam to stem that tide from the fucking left, from the Democrats and the liberals, I am not fucking surprised that broadly people see these issues in a more conservative lens, because there is nobody going out there talking to people and telling them why they're wrong. What, less than 1% of the population, all the trans people are going to do it? How? When the conservatives are fucking shutting us out of everything, firing us from everything, calling us DEI. Yeah, exactly. QETP. It is exactly moving the Overton window. And for these assholes like Bill, it allows them to sit back smugly and make no fucking mistake. All the fence-riding, lobbyist, dick-sucking bitches on Capitol Hill who are looking at poll numbers, who the day after Trump won are sending out, we need your money to defend democracy and give money to Pelosi today. All of those motherfuckers, they're just sitting back and looking at the polling going, well, you know what? It's a good thing we didn't stand up and defend trans issues, because look at how unpopular it is. It's like, yeah, no shit. Because you have idly stood by and let the entire fucking country be overrun with transphobic propaganda. All right, I'll be right back. Okay.
Of parents coming in second in a who gets to decide what goes on with my kid contest.
First of all, I'm not talking about winning or losing elections. I agree that there's a salience to this issue. I agree that this has been weaponized. I agree with all that, but I'm just talking about the issue itself. Let's you got to go. That's good. That's it. You're just leaving?
Go. Yeah, I'm just leaving.
Bill Maher, everybody.
Thank you.
I had other questions.
Oh, we could do it all day.
Well, I guess not. we could. All right, good. Bill Maher, everybody. Get out of here. Good.
That's it. Get out of here.
Go here.
That's what you really wanted to say.
Yeah. You might notice when you leave that our bathrooms are non-gendered. So. All right, get out.
Well, not exactly non-gender. One, it says urinals. And
well, so what happened was we had a men's room and a women's room. Then they were both non-binary, and then people didn't know where the urinals were. So now it says one just says urinals, and the other says urinals and stalls. Bill Maher, everybody.
All right. Look at my fucking liberals, dog. Just look at my liberals, dog. King Cyrus the Great, thank you for $10. Riley Kane saying women are losing positions from trans women. No one asked her ever. Hey, Gaines, you came in 5th place and 4 cis women beat you. Why are you mad? Yeah, like that. God, that getting like overturned, I guess, was so fucking funny because everybody was just commenting when she was like, now no athletes will have their rightful places taken by men or whatever the fuck she said, and people are like, great, so you'll start coming in. I mean, you won't, because this is all she has, but So you're going to come in 4th instead of 5th. Cool. Dude, you're still not even placing on the podium, even without trans women. So, cool. Riley's husband. Oh, yeah, I did see that. Riley's husband is facing deportation. Probably not much to talk about with the Texas measles outbreak. I did want to touch on it briefly just to continue spreading, so to speak, word about what we can as far as the various infectious diseases getting ready to ravage us. We're still in free fall, Dr. Peter Hotez, co-director of the Texas Children's Hospital, said in USA Today. This has a lot of energy and steam behind it. And that energy and steam are all the unvaccinated kids. As of Tuesday, 124 people were known to be infected, 18 of whom have been hospitalized. We have an outbreak driven by anti-vaxxers right now of a disease that, like, you didn't fucking grow up. I didn't grow up having to worry or care about fucking measles, y'all. Like there's such a real chance with, and I don't want to do a an RFK Jr. deep dive yet, because I'll have to with the RFK Jr. shit and everything going on there. That's a whole stream. That's like a 3 or 4 hour chunky stream to go into and talk about. Yo, Yenzo, thank you for linking that, because I've actually been looking for that again. A boy I'm seeing kind of linked that to me. Yeah, this is fucking, if this is the same thing, yes, yeah, it is. All right, I'll talk about that in a second, because that's fucking horrifying in its own way. Dog. What? You are so loud and noisy. You are so loud and noisy. Are you gonna be good? Are you gonna be good? Alright, here we go. Gonna remind people that Dead Domain is a bitch ghoul that condemned Biden for supporting Ukraine and is wholly responsible for being in the side of people who got Trump elected by discouraging people to vote. Well, first off, I didn't discourage people to vote. Second off, dickhead, when did I ever condemn Biden for supporting Ukraine? I don't believe I did. See, when I talked about Biden just randomly supporting war efforts overseas, I was specifically in the intro to what? In the intro to what? Dog, seriously. In the intro to what? Because I will all day drag Biden for being a fence-sitting piece of shit who basically funded and gave Netanyahu a free meal ticket to genocide Palestinians. But no, I'm the bad person, right? Like, it's not the absolute dogshit liberal government that put motherfucking Joe Biden back on the campaign trail to just dodder his way across the stage. Where is Joe Biden, by the way? Right now. Where's Joe Biden and Kamala? Huh? Are they still, they're still doing political stuff, right? They're trying to help out the American people, right? They're still, you know what? Let me look that up real quick. Oh, not in office because of people like me. Yeah, no, you're right. It's because of podcasters and streamers and YouTubers with 100,000 followers. That's why. That's why they're not elected. Not because of their dog shit fucking policies. Not because of their absolute failure at any level to address the populist issues Trump was trying to tackle. Not because of their absolutely feckless, useless fucking opposition to oncoming fascism. They're both sides. We need to reach across the aisle, and together we're all Americans. Bullshit. That has allowed this to happen. No. You're right. It's me. What is secret feud exposed? Great. Oh, Biden-Harris's administration's disastrous policies. Oh, cool. She received a prestigious chairman's prize at the NAACP Image Awards, and 6 days ago signed with a major Hollywood talent agency. Wow. Yeah, you know what? Here's the fucking thing. Domain being a reactionary right now, wigging out about a non-existent genocide is a large part of why fascist Trump won. Four hours ago. Israeli aircraft bombed military targets in southern Syria. We will not allow Syria to become southern Lebanon. Human Rights Watch says Israeli soldiers in the occupied West Bank have killed more than 50 Palestinians, including 7 children, since January 21st. Syrian Observatory for Human Rights said the deaths were caused by Israeli air raids. Oh, here's the Israeli prisoners who Hamas kept, by the way. We had food and conditions that, for the most part, were okay when you know what could have been. Given 2 meals a day, pita and rice. Dozens of Palestinians released from Israeli jails, on the other side of things, show signs of torture and starvation. Part of a ceasefire between Hamas and Israel, 183 Palestinians were released. They emerged wearing stained gray prison jumpsuits and exhibiting signs of years of detention. Every time prisoners are released, we find the prisoners' bodies reflecting the level of crimes committed against them, including torture that is unprecedented in its level after October 7. Starvation crimes, systemic medical crimes, and the infection of a number of them with scabies, in addition to severe beatings that the prisoners were subjected to before their release. What are the conditions like right now? Oh, right, but you're saying it's not a genocide. What did Trump want to do? What was he talking about? Oh, Trump appears to back off from his Gaza plan. Interesting. Working on alternative to Trump's Gaza plan. Trump envisions the U.S. leading Gaza's reconstruction by clearing unexploded ordnance, removing debris, and developing infrastructure. Netanyahu praises Trump's bold vision for Gaza. Fewer than half of Gaza's 36 hospitals are still functioning, depriving women and girls, including an estimated 150,000 pregnant women and new mothers, of access to critical health care. They have lost homes and loved ones and lack the very basics to survive: food, water, adequate shelter, and protection. Oh, 6 children die of hypothermia amid freezing conditions. Interesting. Humanitarian situation There are 63 Israelis and foreign nationals captive in Gaza. There are almost 10,000 Palestinians in Israeli custody. If you're going to fucking tell me this is not a genocide, that Biden did not help with this, go fuck yourself. You're proving my reactionary. Yes, I'm actually very smart. See, by you providing evidence that there's actually genocidal action being taken against the Palestinian people, you're proving my point that you're a reactionary, that you allow emotion to guide you on these issues, like starving children and children having their fucking heads blown off and their parents crying in the rubble. All of these people who had nothing to do with the war but are viewed by the Israeli ethno-nationalist state as quite literally less than human, as our government and the people who lead it talk about clearing off Gaza and using the beachfront property to develop, which is what Trump was talking about and Netanyahu was backing a couple days ago. So if you're going to fucking sit there and tell me that I'm being a reactionary for having a strong emotional reaction to this, I'm going to tell you, you need to get in contact with your fucking soul, because I think you're pretty close to losing it. Oh, look at that. Amnesty International concludes Israel is committing genocide in Gaza. Let's talk about there's the oh no, we need to talk about that. Fuck, I forgot about that. Oh no. Oh, this gonna be a fun one. Do y'all remember Dusty Devers? I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't. Miriam, complaining a conversation can't be held and demanding a conversation is a difference without a distinction. Had an audience here. Hilarious. You see, yes, I'm just no, I promise I'm not. Dusty Devers from Elgin, Oklahoma, announced on Tuesday a bold slate of 8 legislative measures aimed at restoring quote-unquote moral sanity in Oklahoma. Together, these bills set a course, this is from the Oklahoma Senate website, for pushing back against the moral decay foisted upon Oklahoma by the far left's march through our institutions to destroy the moral foundations upon which the U.S. and Christian civilization had long rested. It should be have long rested. So this is wild, I'm gonna say. Like, this is one of the most buck wild encapsulations of the modern American right's march toward destabilizing, like, America's moral framework. You see a lot of this shit, and granted, it's been this way for, over a decade. Really, it's been this way for a while. But the way these have come to the forefront of being actual conservative talking points really feels like a last couple years type thing. This reclaiming of, like, things like manifest destiny, right? Things like manifest destiny. Yeah, no, moral decay. A lot of people I see in the chat already rolling their eyes at the concept of moral decay. And when people talk about this, it reminds me of when people, like, you can tell a motherfucker's never actually been through shit in their life. Like, Brianna Will is a great example of somebody who's never actually been through any travails, who's never actually been through any, like, real hardship, right? And then they talk about something so authoritatively, and that's what this reminds me of, where it's like, you wouldn't know what actual tribulations looked like if they smacked you in the face. 1989, the number. Thank you for following. $5 from Zachary Butler. Thank you so much. Convincing my family members who have lived through decades more of this than I have that this has always been the way Republicans are is so tiring. Yeah. Quote, sadly, the left's centuries-long assault on morality and decency. Now, I want you to in your mind palace, and I want you to paint a mind picture in your mind palace of what you think the left's century-long assault on morality and decency. Well, what do you think morality and decency mean? Do you think morality and decency are things like using America's vast reservoirs of wealth to take care of homeless people, take care of veterans, make sure people don't have to go into debt and die because of their medical debt? Do you think it's being able to provide for our children, being able to give them a better, higher quality of education, not trying to privatize every aspect of school, insurance, the prison industrial complex? Do you think it's any of that shit for morality and decency? Stop. Lady. Knock it off. Has been so successful that some have come to accept as normal a society that is drowning in hardcore pornography. I haven't read that part before. Prenatal homicide. That's fucking wild. Calling women's healthcare prenatal homicide is another fucking like, man, that's just one of those Overton window shifting moments that we're just gonna have to fucking get used to. Like, this is how they're gonna fucking just continue saying this shit, by the way. Sexual performances for children. Goddamn. None of this is normal, and none of that fucking happens, by the way. Each one of these evils is a result of a policy choice to not stand for what we know is right. Opposing these evils does not mean we are extremists. It means we are sane, Deaver said. Contrary to what the left would have us believe, it doesn't have to be this way. We can and should imagine and move towards a society that celebrates virtue in the public square rather than vice. We can restore normalcy, decency, and morality. Now, again, when you're thinking of morality, I want you to contemplate. Do you think he's talking about, like, taking care of people who need it? Do you think he's talking about actually making people pay their fair share? Do you think he's talking about fairness, actual equality? in his morality? Or does his moral framework only really encompass a Christian nationalist view of things that allows him to dictate what other people should do in this free country? We'll see. I have a feeling most of the people in the chat already know. We can protect the most vulnerable. Again, like, we can protect the most vulnerable, which are going to be babies, fetuses. That's who they're going to define as, oh, these are the most vulnerable among us. It's going to be fetuses. It's fetuses. It's not actual, like, people who are homeless on the streets right now freezing to death. It's not children who are going hungry. Like, these motherfuckers would rather have poor kids go into debt over lunch meals. Restore a high view of marriage and shield children from explicit material that can warp their innocent minds. We simply must have the courage to stand against the most radical and degenerate elements of the far left. Oh boy. The Abolition of Abortion Act. Protect the lives of all preborn children in Oklahoma by closing the self-managed abortion loophole. While clinics may be prohibited from performing abortions, pro-life laws currently being enforced allow mothers to order abortion pills online, based recent research from the foundation. I love that. I love recent research from the Foundation to Abolish Abortion. Recent research from the People Who Agree With Me Foundation. And more importantly tonight, I'd like to thank the society of people who completely agree with my entire moralistic framework. We love their work, the hard-hitting reporting they put out. This bill declares that life begins at conception and ensures that no person may lawfully terminate. We've already seen this go horribly awry multiple times in places like Texas. Children are still being murdered under the color of our laws. Fuck you. King Cyrus the Great. Holy shit, thank you for $20. Garth Ennis, the creator of Boys and Preacher, really hates these type of people. I remember he said, those who preach morality and fire and brimstone are full of bullocks. They are just as depraved. Many such cases. I bet, I don't know off the top of my head. I'm willing to bet Garth Ennis probably has a Christian upbringing. I wouldn't be fucking surprised. So here's again, last year when I was talking about this, and I completely, like, I forgot around, it's only February. CPAC was later last year, I believe. But Banana Brains, would you ban Rib Rascal? CPAC was a little bit later this year, and I forgot what I was fucking saying, dickhead. Oh, right. When I was talking about Project 2025 last year coming out of CPAC, and I had a bunch of people saying like, "Oh, well, you know, they're not going to redefine pornography. Like you're just being ridiculous. They're not going to legally try and redefine pornography to encompass queer stuff," which they've already started doing. They've already tried doing. They already continue to try doing. Significantly heightens existing 0 to 20 year penalties for the possession, distribution, and production of child sexual assault material to 10 to 30 years. I'm going to go on a limb and say that's not far enough. 10 years, not enough. I'm going to be the extremist. I realize might make somebody's going to call me a fucking tanky over it. Somebody's going to say like, "Oh, you're yeah, I think people who consume child pornography, the place for them is under the jail." Like that is my most reactionary fucking take. Sorry. I still think about that one fucking time where somebody I was talking shit about Lolly, and somebody came into my chat and they were like, "Hey, I really like what you do and I really love your show and your streaming, but I kind of wish that you would reconsider your position on Lolicon and stuff." And I just said, "Nope. Nar. Nope. No." That's my fucking line in the sand. I have convictions. I'm sticking to that. Literally nothing will ever change my fucking mind over that. Very illiberal, supporting jail systems. At one point, I would like to see. I would like to talk more about jail and the leftist framework of like abolishing jails, because like, even in a perfect society, there's going to be evil people. Like, and this is something that I think a lot of leftists don't really like to think about, is that even if you were to meet everybody's material conditions, you can improve a society. You have just, you know, incredible amounts of innovation and invention, and everybody's happy and everybody can do whatever they want. There are still going to be people who are just evil, and you have to figure out a way to deal with that. Like, you're still going to need somebody who can solve murders, you know? That's a whole separate thing. Banana Brains YYZ, quote, raised with no religion, Ennis's first exposure to the idea of God was as a 6-year-old in primary school. Ennis's teacher told the class that God was a being who could see inside their hearts, was always around them, and would ultimately reward or punish them. Ennis described the idea as bewildering, strange, and terrifying. Whoa, you know what? That's fucking fair. That's fair. I get it. I see the vision. Yeah, no, like Big Man Mueller, most of the liberal argument against jail is mostly against throwing people in it for possession of drugs and shit. Yeah, like that kind of sentencing, no fucking a problem with abolishing and reforming. Like, I don't think anybody should go to jail over possession charges, straight up. Must be a Rev Says Desu follower. Yeah, and like, again, like, Big Man Mueller, you're absolutely right. Like, there is a much bigger conversation to be had around that. Especially and I talked about it a little bit when I was talking about the January 6th protesters and possible prison reform, is that, like, that subsection of America is not used to nearly as much culturally, is not used to and I mean, like, the kind of pseudo upper crust white, middle to upper middle class white people are not used to being just like, fuck you, thrown in jail, charged, you know? Whereas if you take, I guarantee you take any black family, any person of color, they have somebody in their family or know somebody who have at one point been scared for their life in a police encounter. I can almost fucking guarantee it. I can almost guarantee it. And so I think, like, there is a very different, like, conversation to be had about how those communities have been affected by. I've been listening to. Okay, this is a tangent, but I promise I'm gonna weave it back in. Leah, if everyone gets medical care for illness and material conditions are met, I can barely imagine how we'd have crime, let alone prison. I mean, consider for a fact, because I see where you're coming from, and I would like to agree with you. But consider for a fact the absolute depraved lunatics that we have seen come out of the wealthiest classes in the world. Epstein. I would put Trump and Musk in there, obviously. What's his fucking name? Weinstein. There is something that happens, I think, when people are too comfortable. And I'm not saying that everybody being able to actually live a happy life and being debt-free and being able to have their material needs met. And, like, I'm not saying that that's going to lead to everybody becoming just these fucking depraved sickos. What I'm saying is that, like, you can have all that shit met, and some people are just fucking evil. Like, I don't think that it is something that is innate. I don't think that it's like a Halloween Dr. Loomis, like, you know, like Michael was always evil from the beginning. I don't think it's that. I think there is an element of privilege. I think people are a combination of factors, where they come from, how they get there, right? But that being said, there is no way, even if you create the optimal system with the incredible number of variances in the human brain, in human culture, you are going to still have people who are cruel, who want to hurt others, who will benefit from that cruelty. That's just the way it is. And you need to be prepared for that. Is what I'm saying. Corporate carrots. I think by and large crime is more often caused by poverty as opposed to privilege. Okay. I would agree with you. I would say, first off, I would say different kinds of crime. And I would also say, I would ask, how often violent crime, how often do you think somebody who's rich and powerful just isn't charged? I'm like, how many motherfuckers can pay their way out of somebody talking? Like, somebody who has to break into a car because they have nowhere else to live. Somebody who has to sell drugs because they have no way out of their neighborhood. Somebody who has to, take part in a gang initiation, otherwise somebody from their family might get killed, is so materially different. Like, the moral framework they're working from is entirely different from somebody who can sexually assault a woman and then pay her to keep quiet. I think people are... Wait, hold on. Christian Garcia. I read that and I wish I didn't, because now I need to know. Did you say sexy Grok? Yeah, Starro James. I know several people who joined the military said they wouldn't get dragged into gang life. Yeah, that is something that, that's something that the military complex preys on. Kat, thank you. Holy shit! Thank you so much for $50. Oh my god! I just like to say how much I appreciate your content. I watch every video you post. I'm a non-binary individual, and I fear these next 4 years are going to be hell for me, especially because I live in a red state. Keep yourself safe, everyone. You too, Kat. You too. Thank you very much. AJ Chess, thank you for $10. I kind of don't see the point of punitive incarceration. I mean, I get the idea of separating dangerous people from the wider society to protect people, but what is the point of making it punitive? I mean, like, okay, in a society where we did not, which is not the society we live in, but in a system where privatized prisons are not basically legalized slave labor, which is, that's the world we live in. That is why we have punitive judgments on society, right? Like, that is why. That's the reason. In the kind of perfect, I guess, leftist society, in that framework, you would still need some form of incarceration, right? Like, there are going to be, again, there is going to be something that happens. There are going to be people who violate whatever social contract you would come up with. If you were to build the perfect society, you would have something go wrong. And you need a plan. You need contingencies. You need things so that society just doesn't fucking collapse if something goes wrong. But what the goal there should be, in an ideal situation, would be rehabilitation, which is one of the core fucking components that is lacking in our modern prison society. You should, like if you have somebody who is spending years in prison, they should come out. Reparation doesn't always take the form of punitive. Yeah, I'm agreeing with you. Yes. Moral value in inflicting suffering and all. Yeah. Like if you have somebody, here's again, but the prison complex does not care about actually reforming people, because recidivism is how they have their labor. That is literally how they have their slave labor. Like they rely on people staying. They rely on this system we've created where somebody can be born into poverty. They go to an underfunded education. They get swept up in drug programs that are infiltrated into neighborhoods by the government and the police, which are still run like gangs. And eventually they make their way to the prison system, where the prison complexes rely on this loop, where they will not learn, they will not be reformed in any meaningful way in prison. They will do their time, they will go back out, and nothing about their positions or ideas or opportunities, most importantly, have changed. And in fact, because they are now a former prisoner, in a lot of cases, their opportunities have dwindled, have slimmed. So what do? And again, it's important to remember, the prison industrial complex relies on this loop where they come back in, they go back out, they come back in, they go back out. So the idea of what you would actually want to do, what prison should be, and this is going to sound fucking crazy. And I understand that this is going to sound nuts. Yeah, exactly. No, Gina 817, like when you get out, nobody's going to want to hire you. If you're a felon, you can't get a job, so you go back to crime. Yeah. Uh-huh. And Tokyo Riot, they can't meaningfully reintegrate without skills. Exactly. Isn't that just systemic rehab then? I am nearly admitted myself recently. I have a very different view of those two kinds of buildings. Oh yeah, okay, so rehab is an entirely separate thing. If somebody has a substance abuse issue, right? If somebody is addicted to heroin, they were, extreme case, they were arrested for shooting up on a kid's playground or whatever. And it's their fourth arrest. They should be they should be sent to, if it is obvious that their life is in some kind of danger, if that they have no other recourse, they have nobody who's going to take care of them. And I'm not saying that they should be put in prison, they should be taken away and abducted. No. They should be put in a rehab program that will help them get their life back together. And this is the same thing I think for prisons. Is you should not go into what I was saying before, is that no person should go into a 4-year prison sentence. Doesn't matter if it's federal, doesn't matter if it's state, and not come out with, at the very least, an AA degree. That is my insane plan. Again, the prison industrial complex does not want this to fucking happen. Like, very obviously. They do not want people being educated on the inside. Certainly not educated about their rights. Certainly not educated about the history of the prison industrial complex in America. Certainly not about how to organize better their community so that other people don't get stuck in the same cycles that communities have been stuck in for decades, predominantly people of color. Certainly not any education on how the government has continued to fund and run drugs into these communities to keep all these things going. And here's the thing. Laura Seeker, forced college. I don't even think it needs to be forced. I'm going to be real with you. I think most people, if you sat down somebody from any background, doesn't matter what their skin color is, doesn't matter their gender identity. You know what? I'm going to say low income though. I'm going to say from a poor community. Again, doesn't matter where. They are in jail for armed robbery or, breaking and entering. A crime that threatens violence, but they did not do violence themselves, right? Still very clearly a crime, but something that they felt they needed to do out of necessity. Now, if you sat them down, somebody who's 21, 22, 23, technically just at the start of their life, but they see no fucking future in front of them. If you sat them down and said, hey, you have two choices. I realize this is very afternoon special, but work with me here. You can work your way through prison, learn nothing, go back on the streets, come back in another year or two, and spend the rest of your life doing that, which is what people who run this prison, people who are going to make money off you, want you to do. Or you can work your way through books. You can take what are essentially college courses, or you can do some kind of manual training. You can do some kind of, what we need really are, and this just occurred to me, it's because we need the equivalent of, do y'all remember AP college programs where you would take these courses in high school, and I'm sure they still have them, take these courses in high school that you would get early college credit for. And I'm just checking to make sure my dog's okay. She's fine. Take care of college courses. And what we should have for prison reform in America, what we should have as a part of this, is a pipeline where you can get, if you need mechanical training, if you need actual trade crafting, you can get that training, and there's a pipeline to set you up with a actual fucking job on the outside, where people are actually set up for success. Because let me tell you something, if people were actually set up for success, they are not. They are very intentionally set up for failure. If they were set up for success, we would have a better fucking society. People are actually able to get on their feet, have families, provide for those families. And mind you, I'm not talking about like, whatever any conservative would be like, fucking, you just want, liberals just want leftists, and they just want everybody to have everything for free. No, I'm talking about people working hard and earning a life that they actually deserve, and having the fucking chance to do it. Which is something that, again, there are so many systemic issues that these things will not manifest themselves. Anyway, sorry. That is my, I was gonna say, hey, we need to talk about this at some other point. Why not talk about it now? All right, I'm gonna go refill my water real quick, and I'll be right back. Wug. Yeah. And Jenny bringing up a good point is that, like, again, when I say, because I could talk about these issues literally all day, because they all fucking stack on top of each other. Where Jenny's bringing, working a full-time job should allow you to have the basics you need to live, including food, shelter and food. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm completely for universal basic income for people who need help. Not necessarily for everybody, but for people who need it, who have no recourse, who are living on the street right now. Yeah, I think you should give them a place to live stably, the money to buy food, necessities, and clothing, not more than they need, but enough to actually start a life, because there are so many people in this country who have never been given that chance. Truly never been given that chance. As much as people want to propagandize about, oh, it's the land of opportunity, so many people fucking don't. And when I say, and I mean this, when I say like universal basic income, I'm not even fucking talking about me. I'm still in a pretty low income bracket, but I'm fine, right? I have debt. Taxes are probably gonna kill me, but ultimately, I'm still fucking better off than a lot of other people. I'm fine. I'm talking about everybody else. You know, and that's the thing that pisses me off. Oh God, I don't want to go down that road. I could talk about how we treat homeless people for so fucking long. No, I mean, we should feed and house everyone because it's the morally correct thing to do. You're right. Like regular gyms, like that. You're absolutely correct. Like, yeah, it is. You have to frame it that way, though. You have to frame it in context of like, well, actually, if you were to do this, if you were to give people universal basic income and housing and all this stuff, it would create more productive this, more productive this. Studies show it would do this, and blah, 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 blah. Because at the end of the day, we're still in a capitalist hellscape, and productivity, the workforce, is what they actually give a fuck about. They don't care about people. They could care less. You need to show them the bottom line. You can find this on the Oklahoma State oksenate.gov. Agreed. Here we go. So, increasing penalties for child pornography. No problem with that. Prohibiting pornography in Oklahoma. Hold up a minute. The bill also prohibits pornography in general, providing for criminal penalties of up to 10 years for production, distribution, or possession. Also provides heightened 10 to 30-year criminal penalties for organized pornography trafficking. Pornography is both degenerate material and a highly addictive drug, Deaver said. There's no evidence to support pornography being addictive. It ruins marriages, ruins lives, destroys innocence, warps young people's perception of the opposite sex, turns women into objects, turns men into objects, degrades human dignity, and corrodes the moral fabric of society. Somebody has a couple tabs open. Now, mind you, those you might look at those and be like, well, those are pretty heavy hitters for the restoring moral decency or whatever the fuck. Number 3 on 8 laws. 8 laws. Number 3 is prohibiting drag performances for children. Not subjected to adult cabaret performances, including Drag Queen Story Hour. Which, by the way, Drag Queen Story Hour is not something. It's a colloquialism. It's not something that has been like officially canonized outside of like conservative spaces that will talk about it, right? Like it's so weird how they're obsessed with quite literally like capitalizing everything. Under the provisions of the bill, the performer would be subject to a prison sentence of 1 to 5 years, while the organizer of the event would face up to 1 year behind bars. Quote, there's perhaps no more glaring and disgusting example of the left's rejection of morality and decency than their insistence on pushing sexual content onto children in particular. It is ridiculous this has to be said, but children should not be exposed to adult cabaret performances. There should be unceasing righteous indignation that these people are allowed to market and perform their sexual content specifically to and for young kids. Now, I'm already seeing people in chat talk about how, yeah, drag is not inherently sexual. Also, Drag Queen Story Hour is literally just drag queens reading storybooks to kids. It is no different than any other kind of story reading time. At all. Like, that's it. It's just story time with people in goofy, colorful makeup. So you look at this and you go, okay, well, if that is punishable by law, or they want to, at least this dipshit wants to make, this would never pass in America's current state. We'll see. Give it a year or two. Now, how long until we extend this to performances of Shakespeare? How long until we extend this to, if you happen to have an outfit box when I was a kid going to preschool, I remember one of the preschools had a big old chest where they had a bunch of, like little kid dress up, like here's a doctor's coat, here's a dumb chef hat, and here's like some old clothes, like here's a giant sweater or whatever. But they would have clothing that was both male and female gendered. They would have dresses and stuff. So how long until somebody who runs a preschool is going to prison because some boy was just playing around and put on a princess tiara, and that was teaching sexual degeneracy? I don't know. Swamp Frog Person, thank you for $2. Protect queer art. I hate this rhetoric. Yeah. Protect queer art and make more queer art is what I would say. Also, King Kerplunk, thank you for gifting a sub to Elendil48. The Covenant Marriage Act. This is also fucking horrifying. The Covenant Marriage Act would allow couples in Oklahoma to opt into a covenant marriage based on... Hey, what the hell, dog? Hey. The dog she doesn't like is out in the hall. Based on traditional understanding of marriage as a binding legal contract with meaningful vows. Covenant marriages would only be able to be dissolved in cases of abuse, adultery, or abandonment. Couples who opt into a marriage would be eligible for a $2,500 tax credit. So, what they are doing... Stop. Stop. Stop it. Give me that. Give. Come here. She said, no, my toy. Up. A piece. A piece. Ow! Let me see if I can get her on screen. Nope, she's... Come here. A piece. A piece. Come here. Ups. You want to see ups? Ups. She said, no on camera. Just want you to tug. No camera, just tug. You are so... No, you're too strong. If I hold on, you're gonna... No, it straight up is identical to Sharia. Like, it... So what they are doing here is they are incentivizing people to essentially enter into a religious contract, again, for purely religious reasons, that the government should have no fucking say in, that will make it harder for a woman to get out because she has to be proving abuse, adultery, or abandonment. Promoting the religious liberty of people who wish to enter the marriage on religious terms. It's actually about demoting the idea that women have rights and aren't just beholden to their husband. Marriage has been so degraded, it has become one of the flimsiest legal contracts in our society. We need to restore a high view of marriage, and this bill does that by allowing couples to opt out of the no-fault divorce scheme. No-fault divorce scheme is a fucking wild... Oh my god. No-fault divorce scheme? What a wild fucking way. Oh, prohibiting no-fault divorce is next. The bill would end no-fault divorce by removing incompatibility as a justification divorce, leaving abandonment, gross neglect, extreme cruelty, habitual drunkenness, insanity for a period of 5 years, adultery, unknown pregnancy, and fraudulent contract as the available justifications. They want to make it so that those are the only reasons you can get divorced. That a relationship has to degrade to the point of any of these things. Despite the fact that incompatibility, if you realize you're incompatible, guess what? It can stop all of this other shit from happening. If any of that stuff happens. No, it is an abuser's wet dream. Gordon guy. It is like, oh god. Quote, marriage vows were oh wait, hang on, hold on. Establishes the at-fault parent must pay restitution to the victims of divorce, that is children, in due form of a trust fund they get access to when they turn 18. Because everybody fucking has the money for a trust fund, Dusty. Marriage vows were binding until 50 years ago into the sexual revolution, when the no-fault divorce scheme was first brought to America. Oh my god. Less important and binding than a business contract, will reap the fruit of social upheaval, unfettered dishonesty, crime, violence towards women, war on men, and the expendability of children. The Make Adoption Affordable Again Act. reducing financial barriers, encouraging the care of orphaned and vulnerable children. Every child deserves. You know what? Honestly, I have a hard time, at least in the idea. This article, this isn't an article. It's the Oklahoma Senate website. This isn't an article page. The Promote Child Thriving Act, and this is just more tax credits for people with kids. Equal tax status for health share ministries. Samaritan Ministries and Liberty Health share the same tax benefits as traditional insurance, ensuring that those who opt for these plans are not discriminated against in the tax code. Healthcare should honor our convictions. This bill ensures that families who choose Christ-centered health solutions are not penalized. Let me know how Christ-centered health solutions go. Oh my God, chat. Oh yeah, I'm not. You should repeat that. I'm not surprised they haven't passed. It's more just talking about the idea that these things are being proposed now. Because make no mistake, they are absolutely being proposed in the context of Trump being elected. All right, we did that. Moral sanity. Let's talk about. I'll save Trump and Elon for later. I'm so fucking tired of those assholes. How many people have been fired? Hey lady, I liked it better when you were just sleeping, when you were just eeping. Federal board orders government to reinstate 6 workers fired by Trump. Trump and unchecked billionaire Musk have fired nearly 6,000 veterans. Shit. $2,000 USAID workers. Crazy. All right. And I bring that up. Well, let's talk about Chris Rufo in a second. But I bring that up to talk about... fuck out of here. The Project 2025 tracker. This is a pro-Trump thing. Are we having a palate cleanser? I can have a palate cleanser. I can do some palate cleansing. I think we still got a little ways to go on the stream though. Ma, thank you for $5. I'm sure Chad will be happy with his. Oh, Chad will be happy. His wife Stacy is sleeping at Tyrone's place for 5 years before he can divorce her. Yeah, I'm sure that kind of shit. Like there are going to be. Here's the thing to consider is that there are going to be communities. There are going to be states that do end up passing those fucking laws. And there are going to be like we saw with the banning of abortions and the criminalization of abortions in Texas. There are going to be people who are affected, just like leftists and the left say there will be. And those people will be fucking ignored. Lady. What? You are such a little ham. Hey, what do you want? Do you need water? Do you need water? Is that what you're saying? Water? No, you have water. You have water. You have water, silly dog. You're so silly. Why are you being so silly? Lady. Come on, uppies. Oh, Dan Bongino. Dan Bongino is a dipshit, like, I mean, he's in the FBI now because fucking Kash Patel is the FBI director. Somebody with literally no, we talked about it last stream, but Kash Patel is somebody with literally no fucking government experience outside of the last Trump administration, where he was ping-ponged between all these things, basically just because he was a super Trump loyalist. Like, look at this dog. Look at this dog. You see this little ham? You see this little ham? Oh, she's pulling. Yeah, Dan Bongino is I mean, you know, he's another fucking also ran on the Trump train. He's another one of these fucking, yeah, Kash Patel has, like, the crazy eyes thing is really, like, he really does look constantly crazy. Like, just crazed. And I think it's actually part of, like, an act he puts on. Like, he thinks it makes him look tough. Just, like, constantly look like wherever he goes, I think he really is just like, this people won't mess with me if I just look like. I was like, yeah, no, you're right, dude, because you look fucking crazy. You look fucking nuts, man. Oh yeah, there is no regard for ability or competency. I feel like that was pretty well established when Trump, like Pete Hegseth, I think was the first getting confirmed, was like the tea leaf for like, oh no, none of this shit is happening, or none of this shit is not happening. Everybody's gonna get pushed through. $5, thank you very much. King Cyrus the Great for $5. 7 deadly sins, and they love to ignore greed hunt. Oh boy, fucking don't they? Don't they? On a scale of Joe Rogan, Alex Jones, how bad are we talking when it comes to Dan Bongino? Bongino's pretty close with Alex Jones, actually. I think he might have worked for Alex Jones, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, no, he did. Right-wing podcaster and InfoWars guest. 9 things you need to know about Dan Bongino. I mean, just fucking look at him, dude. Just fucking look at him. Deputy Director of the FBI, podcaster, conspiracy theorist, and ex-host on Fox News and NRA TV. Mind you, if you ask yourself, okay, what qualifications does he have? Oh, thank you very much, Maher, for $5. Lady is the goodest gal. What qualifications does he have? These are his qualifications. To people like Kash Patel, him being a conservative podcaster, conspiracy theorist, and host on NRA TV. Those are his qualifications for taking office at the premier investigative agency in America. Described himself in his own words in 2018, quote, "My entire life right now is about owning the libs. That's it." 2023, he tweeted, "The FBI is no longer a law enforcement entity, is an oppo research firm for Democrats with an armed political enforcement branch. Deep state left-wing FBI." Calling Congress and journalists pussy, fucking moron, dumb piece of shit, and more. The irony, this is goddamn. This is from his Twitter. The irony about this for the scumbag commie libs is that the cold civil war they're pushing will end really badly for them. Libs are the biggest pussies I've ever seen, and they use others to do. I don't know why I kind of slipped into Stallone there. Your mama's still doing the laundry for them as they celebrate the night that their long-sought goal of the destruction of the republic has been reached. but they're not ready for what oh god, they think they sound so fucking tough and cool. Grums did this shit recently too. We're like, somebody called it, and it's stuck in my head, so I'm never gonna forget it. Studying the blade posting is what this is. They're not ready for what comes next. They never have been. It's all revolutionary cosplay with them. Not anymore, as it's all real now. You assholes wanted it, now you've got it. Soy fascism it is. Permanently banned from YouTube in 2022 when he was caught trying to circumvent an earlier suspension after he posted a video when he questioned the effectiveness of using masks against the coronavirus. Well, that's not, is it? There's only 4 things? I thought it was 9 things, whatever. Yeah. So that's the deputy FBI director. So this tracker is basically following everything that it's Project 2025 has promised to do and what they've accomplished first. And if you thought thousands and thousands and thousands of people being cut, being fired, no longer working their jobs, media, sensitive information being hacked, people like Elon having access to incredibly sensitive data, probably Russia and or Chinese spies having access to our data at this point, people who are completely unqualified running these DEI witch hunts. We'll see a little bit from Chris Rufo in a second. Yeah, I'll put the Project 2025 Observer link in the chat. And by this estimation, after a month, they are 36% done. Now, granted, this is probably a little bit more, giving a little bit more credit to the Trump administration than they need or deserve. But the idea that they are nowhere near fucking done, and we have already seen, I wanted to show really quick, before we get to the Chris Rufo bullshit. We've already started to see, you may have noticed, there has been a fucking drastic uptick in plane and or plane related accidents. And what started as a lot of people, Matt Walsh continues to be like, he continues to try and blame it on DEI, but like, you apparently you were just celebrating the death of DEI. DEI is over now, so what's your fucking excuse now, dickhead? Trump and Elon's pointless bloodbath at the FAA is even worse than you think, from Rolling Stone. Fired several FAA lawyers tasked with helping keep reckless and drunk pilots out of the skies, and officials are baffled. I'm gonna turn this off real quick. Sorry, I'm just logging in real quick. Stop it. Lady. Lady. What is your fucking issue? No, I do not want to. I'm trying to do work. Okay, kitchen. 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 Don't run away from me. Kitchen. Be good. Be good. You're not gonna go to the kitchen. Be good. Lady, come on, dude. Here, I will throw your toy. Ow. Little tooth got me. Lady Cam when she's a better dog. Okay, well, never mind. I don't have that login. So we're just going to go to Chris Rufo and the Uppy. She is baby. Does she need to go for a walk? No, I always walk her right before I do a stream. She is fine. She's just being a big baby. She just needs constant fucking attention is really what she needs. Hi, Amber Whiteson. I would like a camera that she cannot stop sniffing at, please. You would get bored of it. You would. She is injecting these times with silliness. She is the silliest little bean. I love this little animal. I give her. It was so fucking funny. What was I doing the other night? I was doing something on my bed the other night. I was writing, and I just look over, and she's just like sitting on the bed, like not laying, just sitting like next to me, just staring at me. Like, and I was like, what do you want? Because sometimes she's actually she's very smart. She knows how to like draw somebody somewhere and show them what she wants, like literally point at it. But she was just sitting there, just super chill. And I was just like, hey, what do you want? Like, what do you want? And she didn't like, she was just sitting there to sit with me and just be chill. And she, like, I was just like, oh, you're such a good dog. And she just kind of like sat there and like cocked her head a little bit and just like kept sitting there. She's good. She's just a good little friend. She's my good little friend. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Even though you're being a butthead right now. Yes, you are. I know. You just want to tug. She just want to tug so bad. All right. So, Chris Rufo. Let me go to the second one too. Let me have that pulled up on Twitter. Let me look up. God, all of these fuckers start to blend together after a while, and I want to make sure I get the things right. But Chris Rufo was the king dingaling behind the rights war on DEI a couple years ago. And after he declared, oh yes, I stamped out DEI, he fucking turned his sights to transgenderism, which must be stamped out. It's no surprise that people like Benny Sheps love him. Leading the fight against the left-wing ideological regime. Now, would you believe that so much of what he said is just fucking lies and bullshit? I know this will be shocking to you. Let me find. He is one of the guys who openly talked about how they need to distort the truth. Here we go. Yeah, there we go. This guy is leading the fucking ideological war on America's left. He looks like a one-episode villain character in Veep. Like, and I say that as something, I literally just finished Veep. Journalist and activist. Heavy lifting on those words, Vox. Largely responsible for the rise of critical race theory as a major concern for the GOP, played a crucial role in Ron DeSantis' attempt to transform Florida's university, spearheading the takeover and transformation of the new College of Florida, a small liberal arts school, as proof of concept for a new right-wing model for higher education. So he is a open, and has been for a long time, an open fascist too. His primary method has always been to just take over anything he deems as liberal or progressive to any degree and just malform it to his own ends. That's it. Managed all of this before his 40th birthday. He wants to go bigger. He has argued for conservatives to treat authoritarian Hungary and Richard Nixon as models for a counter-revolution against the left. Argues America has quietly been taken over by the ideological heirs of 1960s radicals. Ideas formulated by Marxist revolutionaries and black nationalists disguised in benign-sounding language like diversity, equity, and inclusion have completed a, quote, long march through America's major institutions, starting from universities and emanating outwards to government and corporate life. Now, here's the thing. If this were true, by the way, if there was a completed, like the Phyrexians complete, whoever they take over, version of America that was just this Marxist deep state. If it was really the globalist cabal and they've taken over the United States government, like if it was that, truly, society would be collapsing right now. If there was really that incredibly deep running neo-Marxist, communist, socialist, whatever the fuck they think any of those words meanest, the second these fuckers got into power, apparently, and they're cleaning house and they're draining the swamp, society would be in turmoil right now. All the police would be rising up. Because like they've infiltrated law enforcement, they've infiltrated the FBI. Why haven't then the FBI or the CIA or any of the intelligence agencies put a stop to Trump's plans? Why haven't anybody except the feckless dipshit liberals on Capitol Hill made literally any kind of condemnation? Because it's all fucking a lie. I get him confused with James Lindsay a lot. It's weird that you say that Greaves Underground. I get Rufo confused with James Lindsay because they're both bullshit. They're both bullshit artists who like claim higher academic knowledge than they really have. New ideological regime that's inspired by critical theories and administered through the capture of bureaucracy. Capture bureaucracy. I don't always like saying like, oh, you know, every accusation is an admission, but dog, that's exactly what you're doing. That's exactly. Many of his assertions, like the claim of secret regime change in America, are far less defensible. When pressed in an interview to defend some of his most extreme positions, Rufo ultimately claimed to be writing, quote, a kind of artful and kind of narrative manner that does not always admit of literal interpretation. The retreat was necessary given the glaring lack of real-world policy evidence for what he had written and said. Do you remember Kash Patel last stream when we talked about Kash Patel? How he was talking about how the reason he stuck up for QAnon and continued to spread QAnon conspiracies was that you need to have fun with the truth. You need to play a little fast and loose with the truth. Are you seeing a trend here? Are you seeing a trend with the people who are or even you can talk about Elon Musk the other day talking about yes, well, you know, we're not, when a fucking reporter called his ass out on the saying that, oh, $5 million are going to condoms in Gaza, and it's like, well, actually it was in Mozambique. He was like, well, you know, I'm not always going to say the right thing, but when I am not saying the right thing, I need to be called out on it. And it's like, no, he's just a fucking liar. He's just a liar and a fucking coward. And he's not behind a screen able to tell astronauts, no, you are this slur or that slur. He caves. The seemingly credible evidence Rufo presents of radical influence, the mainstreaming of once radical concepts like structural racism, for example, thus ends up undermining his case. When radical language goes mainstream without accompanying radical shifts in policy, that's not actually evidence of a radical takeover. If anything, it looks like a win for the liberal mainstream, which seemingly has co-opted radical ideas and redirected them towards moderate ends. Fuck. Whoever wrote this article, they get it. Yeah, you get it. Rainbow capitalism, baby. Oh, we love our rainbow capitalism, don't we? It follows then that Rufo's counter-revolution is not countering much of anything. His war on American institutions is not a defensive action against the ascendant post-Marxism left. It is instead an act of aggression against the liberal ideas he occasionally claims to be defending. Damn. He describes philosopher Herbert Marcuse's critique of repressive tolerance in modern capitalist societies, the notion that formal tolerance serves to undermine true freedom by creating a false illusion of liberty that masks and enables continued oppression, and how his arguments influence the student revolutionaries who populated the 60s New Left. He engages in similar efforts for three other influential leftists, Angela Davis, Marxist pedagogist Paulo Freire, and legal scholar Derek Bell, one of the intellectual pioneers of critical race theory. Book is at its strongest in criticizing the extremism of these thinkers and their acolytes. American radicals engaged in a wave of terrorism, including bombings of government buildings and murders of police officers, which is terrible. That's such a terrible. Oh no. Data from the University of Maryland State Project shows more domestic terrorism incidents in 1970 than any year since. Rufo's not wrong to argue that boomer radicalism had a body count. But this brand of violent extremism has essentially been wiped out. A 2017 state report found there had been no deaths from left-wing terrorism. The radical fires of the 60s and 70s appear to have burned out. That's like 40 fucking years ago. 40 fucking years ago. Vareen just got out of a DSA meeting. Hi, y'all. Congrats, Vareen. Good job on just fucking doing the work. Blah, blah, blah. Here we go. It's certainly true that once radical notions like seeing racism as a core part of American national identity have become more popular on the left in recent years, that this does not mean American democracy has been quietly overthrown and replaced with rule by DEI departments. Rufo cites as evidence of the influence of critical theory across America diversity trainings at Lockheed Martin and Raytheon that use the term white privilege and similar concepts in their documents. This, he argues, is proof that, quote, even federal defense contractors have submitted to the new ideology. But the notion that American arms manufacturers have been taken over by radicals is ridiculous. Lockheed Martin builds weapons to maintain the American war machine. It is not owned or controlled in any way by sincere believers in the third worldist anti-imperialism of the 1960s radicals. It is using the now popular terms those radicals once embraced to burnish its own image. Let's fucking go. Not for this. Trump Gaza, Truth Social. Sure, I didn't hate myself enough already. It felt right at the time. It will help. You can look at it and go, oh, that's a cool looking thing. Is this? No, this is not today. God, this is so fucking... Truth Social is such a fucking embarrassing thing. Truths, replies media. Oh, it's fucking wild. All right, 20 minutes ago, we're going in... We're going in hot. I don't like this, chat. Yeah, no, like the idea of Lockheed Martin woke is fucking blown my fucking mind. That's crazy. Would you believe this is a piece of shit website? All right, I'm about done with Chris Rufo, or at least his background. What are we doing? Oh my god, this is fucking nuts. This isn't even like loading. Like, what the fuck? I'm doing good, Homelander. It's a 30-second fucking video. What? Christ alive. All right, let me go to... I do want to talk about the trans people in fucking the NSA or whatever the fuck. Trump, I guess. I'm sorry, gold card? I saw the gold card thing earlier, but I didn't, like, I guess I didn't process it. Cut that shit out. Sell $5 million gold card to wealthy foreigners. That's... Cutting decades-old visa program for $5 million gold card. Give me your tired, your poor, huddled masses yearning to be free to the highest bidder. Are you fucking... Oh my god. For high-level people. I'm stunned. I'm fucking stunned. I thought that was like, somebody said it was a visa. When you said $5 million visa, I thought like, okay, it's like a visa for super, like Visa MasterCard. Like Visa. The company Visa, not a... pay-to-win citizenship. Does he really doesn't fucking double post? What the fuck, man? Trump, Gaza, Truth Social. Let me see if I can... All right, fine. Thank you. You, Chris. You got me. When nobody else got me, I know Chris got me. Let's see if this one actually fucking loads. Have a fucking race to the bottom. Holy shit, it actually loads. Alright, is it? Oh my god. Oh no. I feel fucking sick to my stomach. I'm gonna be real. Like I have like cold chills on my arm. I am like I'm not being performative. I fucking feel nauseous. Yeah, it's AI, Trump propaganda, genocide slop. Where was that one motherfucker? Where's XP? Where are the cats who were saying, "Oh, it's not a genocide"? Huh? America's not participating in a genocide.
Set you free, bringing the light for all to see. No more tunnels, no more fear. Trump Gaza is finally here. Trump Gaza shining bright, golden future.
I somehow didn't expect that. I was prepared for it to be propaganda. I was prepared for it to be the fucking, like, look at how cool Gaza could be if Trump fucking owned it and developed it into a Saudi nightmare. Trump Gaza is finally here. Trump is what is the what's I gotta go back to the what the beginning lyrics are.
To set you free, bringing the light for all.
Donald Trump will set you free, bringing light for all to see.
To see, no more tunnels, no more fear. Trump Gaza is finally here. Trump Gaza shining bright, golden future, a brand new life. Feast and dance the beat.
What the fuck? Oh my god. It
is done. Trump Gaza number one. Trump Gaza shining bright, golden future, a brand new life. Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza number one.
I don't even like I'm sure it's 100% top to bottom. Yeah, no, I don't know how much Trump watched of this. Cuz there's a lot of like not that he gives a fuck anymore. Like he has always been into the self-flagellating or self-fillating. Sorry, not flagellating. Self-fillating image of oligarchy. Like that has always been his fucking aim, his goal in many obvious examples. This is, yeah, people are saying like this is one of the worst things I've fucking ever seen. I'm not even gonna lie. The layers to which this is so reprehensible, like this would be disturbed and reprehensible, but if some fucking, some person in the Middle East came up with this and it just made its way to the internet, like whatever. Stupid AI videos are put out every fucking day. The fact that this was, and I don't necessarily think Trump made it, but the fact that this was seen fit to be retweeted or shared by Trump. The fact that Elon Musk plays so heavily to this, like, JD Vance must be so pissed off that he's not the real fucking running mate, that he's not the real sidekick. I want to go through because there's a couple things I think I missed. I mean, like, fuck, there's a lot. The idea of what is next?
Donald is coming to set you free, bringing the light for all to see. No more tunnels, no more fear.
These nightmarish, like, look at the way his fucking thumb is bent, the way his face is just not working correctly. I hate this shit so much. Let's see if I can scrub. Like the way his face almost blends into the. Okay, so this is the thing. This is the thing I thought I was seeing, and I was like, "There's no way." There's such a way. Is it, because I see the green bandanas, is it supposed to be a dig at Hamas? Is that what it is? Like, oh, look at Hamas, they're such, you know, they're so feminine or something? Maybe? Like, that's literally the only fucking thing I can think of. Literally the only thing I can think of. Why there would be bearded belly dancers. Yeah, woke Gaza. Gaza went woke.
Gaza is finally here.
The images of Trump as a golden idol is yeah, I think the AI prompt of that had Hamas in it, and the AI just went fucking nuts. The golden idol shit, like, Trump has always been extremely ostentatious with his wealth. That's not surprising, but the idea that, again, this is triggered nobody's, like, I saw somebody bring up mammon, like, this has triggered nobody's mammon or ball instincts. Like,
Trump Gaza shining bright, golden future, a brand new life. Feast and dance the beat.
Yeah, okay, I need to go back again. That's Elon. No, that's just, God, he's so fucking disgusting. Even in AI. AI might be the only thing that really, it manages, because of its lumpen clay fighter-esque representation of reality, it manages to actually, I think, capture not just his outer disgustingness, but it manages to blend it with his inner slothliness. Yeah.
Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza #1. Trump Gaza shining bright.
I think it's very funny how I guess there's like just Tesla cars everywhere. And
golden future.
Is that why does that look like Trump on a toilet? I don't.
Brand new life. Feast and dance.
And that's. It's not a genocide. Nobody say it's an actual genocide, everybody. It's not a genocide. Don't say it's a genocide. Where's JD? Who gives a fuck? He's JD. JD Vance. Who gives a shit? Yeah, no, lively people drink coffee. It's funny you missed it, or you might have missed it earlier. There were a bunch of people being like, "Oh no, there's no." Lady is like, "Let me at him. Let me at him." Lady says, "Free Palestine. Free Palestine." Don't you pup. Don't you pup. Yeah. Yeah. Oh no, it's Lady. Yeah, it's just fucking vile. Like, absolutely goddamn vile. the mocking to, I mean, like, hey, it is the cruelty is the point, right? We know this, but the mocking tone that people thousands of miles away can take towards the suffering and death and torture and erasure of an entire culture and people. It is, again, it literally, like we can point and laugh, right? You can point and laugh at the shit and be like, oh my God, look how fucking silly this is. Look at how he and Netanyahu see each other. Look at this fucking, like I said, clay fighter ass Elon Musk eating AI slop falafel or whatever the fuck. But the tangible reality, the propaganda that this is perpetuating, the idea that Trump is going to fucking pave over the lives of millions of people for a fucking real estate development, while the rest of the world just fucking watches. Hello, dog. What do you want? Do not. Hey. God, you are so full of beans today. Watch, as soon as I get off stream, she's gonna be fine. She just doesn't like me. Like, the problem with Lady is that I get worked up and then she gets worked up. She's like, "What are you talking about? Why are you so mad? Why are you distracted, Mama?" No, I wanted to do. What the fuck people were talking about? Oh no, that might not be the best. Oh wait, no, that was a news story. People in disbelief at insane Grok 3 sexy mode that's shockingly X-rated. Immediate refusal, just like in real life. They took AI assistance to a whole new level. Maximally truth-seeking, even or AI. I am. What the? Where's the fucking Grok symbol? Which one of these dumbass things is Grok? There it is. If it's just a chat bot, can we? How do I? Smartest, great. Do we? How do I turn on the dirty stuff? Lady, you are fine. Stop it. Lady. Who the hell designed that logo? Probably him. All right, I'm gonna see if I can figure out how to grok it up on here. God, he has made the user interface so much more dog shit. All right, X for business. All right, yeah, let's see. See how fucking smart you are, robot. All right, so I have to be on the I'm not fucking paying for an AI chatbot. No. I would do it as a goof. I would do it as a fun little haha. I am not fucking how do I, is there not another, how do I fucking, yeah, whatever. I don't, fucking incorrect answer. I don't give a shit. I'm not going to fucking, is there not a, how do I, chat history? Is there new chat? However, there's no simple yes or no. Elon has 12 known children with 3 different women. His approach to fatherhood has sparked plenty of debate. Some see him as a loving dad who makes time for his kids. Do his kids see him that way, Grok? Do his kids see him that way, you robot dipshit? Too detached, prioritizing work. So it has to be one or the other. It literally cannot be both. This isn't a well, you know, like it's one or the other. Spotted with his kids at high-profile events, like bringing his son blah 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 to the Oval Office. One kid. Strange daughter Vivian, who legally dropped his name in 2022, has called him uncaring and narcissistic, claiming he was barely around. Oh, I'm shocked Grok knows about Viv. That's fucking crazy. Oh, actually, I need to... That reminds me, I need to text Viv back about something. I forgot about that. His ex-partner Grimes published class with him over... Errol Musk hasn't been a good dad. That's fucking nuts. So here's, I mean, Banana Brains, Grok being pro-trans is wild. It's the literal endpoint of them trying to do the, like, no, we are going to only use factual information for Grok. We are only going to train him with 10 times computing power and cross-reference facts so that people can get the best version of information. And it's, like, guess what? It doesn't fucking agree with conservatives either. It's just not. It's not going to. It never will. No, Leah, I know Viv. I know Vivian Wilson, Elon's daughter, Vivian Wilson. I also have a friend I play Magic with named Viv. Different trans Viv. I know a couple trans Vivs. His push for more kids, population collapse, Depends on what you value. If it's about providing resources and big picture inspiration, he might score points. If it's about emotional presence and day-to-day care, the evidence and voices from his own family suggest he falls short. But with Musk, you're never getting the full story, just glimpses through the noise. This fucking... Just glimpses through the noise. That is nuts. All right, give me a second. All right, let's go back to Chris Rufo. Now that we're done talking with the dumbass robot toy. We could also talk about GameStop fucking crashing out and the CEO blaming wokeness. That's fucking wild. Radical centrist Grok. No, she's wonderful. She's Viv is super cool. Viv was on one of my streams. Viv was on I don't think it was election night. I think it was it election night? It's either election night or one of the charity streams. But no, Viv Wilson has been on one of the streams. I've talked about this before. I think people just didn't realize who Vivian Wilson was at the time when I introduced her, because she doesn't, you know, I don't like to define her by her fucking dipshit dad. Yeah, I mean she's like the stream still should be up on YouTube and stuff, so I believe it was one of the charity streams, which I couldn't tell you where it happened. I think she was with us for a few hours. I think Elena was there too. Elena McLaughlin. Casey Athrean, thank you very much. Yeah, Banana Brains. You didn't introduce her as that during the stream. I don't think anyone realized it was the same Vivian. Yeah. Because, I mean, like, usually I can be like, oh, hey, you know, go follow this person. Go follow Elena. She's a trans MMA fighter. Go follow, you know, Mia. She's making a movie. Go follow Bugs. But she has a social media presence, and so I can just go be like, you know, go follow her on fucking... I was going to say Truth Social. Blue Sky. Hannah Grossman and I have obtained logs from the NSA secret transgender sex chat room in which NSA, CIA, and DIA employees discuss genital castration, artificial vaginas, piss fetishes, sex polycules, and gangbangs, all on government time. So, A, this, Bruce Magnuson. You're saying cacodemons kind of remind you of tomatoes. Would you say that to a cacodemon's face? Would you say that to a cacodemon's face? Think about that. Think before you speak. You never know who you might be offending. I love this little thing. I'm so glad I got it. This is so dumb. Le meatball. Le tana meatball. I'm sorry, it just took me out. It's the fucking meatball! One thing I really want to do, because I did a whole, like, kind of, I call them, they're not really secret layers, but I kind of do secret layers. Like, I'll do themes for the magic proxies I make. Like, I had my heavy metal cover ones I showed off. I just got Witcher ones done. I have some Elvira ones I did. And one of them I want to do is like classic Doom. Like I want to go through, take a bunch of pictures of classic Doom assets, like screenshots and stuff, and turn them into magic cards. Hey, whoa, lady, you're gonna tip over my chair. You are, hey. Okay, you need to go calm down, Pupperino. No. Kitchen. Are you gonna be good? Are you gonna be good? Kitchen. You are being such a booger. You need to calm down. You need to calm down. It is getting late. You are too hyper. Yeah, you have gotten all of your beans out by now. I know you have. I know you have. There you go, goofball. Drink that. Lay down. Chill. Relax. Okay, she will be okay. Hey, Synthesis. Oh, God damn it, you made me bleed again, dog. Lady Rascally. Rascally is a, Rascally is an understatement. All right, all on government time. So I'm willing to bet Coeur d'Alene having an, oh God. No, we actually haven't talked about that. The Coeur d'Alene detainment, shockingly, haven't heard about it. No, see, as soon as I did that, she's already laying down. Yeah, sometimes she just gets like 2 zoomies and just needs like a little break. She has the same thing if we go on like really like long runs, or she has the same thing when I give her a bath. And she just like needs to zoom. All right. Yeah, let's go to the times. All right, we'll talk about this first, then that. And you know nothing will be done about. Where's the actual thread? I want to fucking see the actual thread. I don't give a fuck about these stupid replies. Is that? There we go. Okay. Called Intelink. Servers are supposed to be used for government work, but gender activists have hijacked at least 2 channels. LGBTQA? Is that bi trans? Is that? And I see pride to discuss fetishes, kink, and sex, all legitimized. So just like people having conversations, like that's really what it comes down to, is that people are just fucking having conversations about their private lives. And let this be a lesson to anybody, trans or not, from from a minority or not. Let this be a lesson to everybody that your data and your messages are not safe, and you should not be putting them out there quite like this. All day recruiting activists and holding meetings with titles such as privilege, ally awareness, pride, and transgender community inclusion. And they did so with the full support of NSA leadership, which declared that DI was not only mission critical, but mission imperative. It's so fucking, watching them try and cast all this shit in like the most villainous terms possible is so fucking funny, when it's like, yeah, we want, when then you actually hear it and it's like, yeah, they're in groups talking about just community inclusion and making sure that everybody feels valued, and diversity is an important thing. Here we go. The pseudo male intelligence agents love the feeling of wearing pants without worrying about anything showing, seeing my reflection in a mirror, wearing leggings, but the pee thing is something I never thought of, but it's nice. Like being penetrated, just important. So, what we are seeing here wear leggings or bikinis without having to wear a gaff under it. One of the weirdest things giving me euphoria is when I pee, I don't have to push anything down to make sure it aims right. That would be fucking weird. I'm not gonna lie, just thinking about that is like, that's wild. So this is like, very little of this is actually sexual, by the way. This is them sexualizing a trans person who's just being incredibly honest and open about their experience. Penetration and of peeing with their... I'm sorry. It's just somebody being honest about their experience. Like, they hate to see a trans bitch winning. They do. It's just a trans woman going, yeah, no, this is great for me. I got to do this. It's kind of weird. I have to pee sitting down now, but I don't have to worry about tucking when I wear a bikini, and like, don't have to do this and the other. Okay. And he, mind you, he has to turn it into, this is fetish shit. They love the like, and it's Alex Jones shit. I wouldn't be surprised. I haven't listened to any new episodes of Knowledge Fight in a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if Alex Jones jumps on this. And it's just like, these male intelligence agents love the feeling. And he'll do that demonic, stupid voice that he does. They love the feeling of penetration and of peeing with their pseudo vaginas. Like, look at my opposition, dog. Look at my opposition, dog. Judge me by my enemies. Trans employees discuss hair removal, estrogen treatments, and breast implants. Getting my butthole zapped by lasers was shocking, said one trans-identified DIA official. Medical science is going to give me tits one way or another, said a Navy Intel employee. This is just... this is just how trans medical care works. A friend of mine gave me a suggestion by Twitter algorithm because of my posts about a riot and mass shooter survival. I think it's criminal. It wasn't for my tits because they're fantastic. I still don't wear a bra except when I lift. I don't have enough to need anything. I get harassed most times I go out in public. I got groped at a concert, which was fun. That's sarcasm. Dude's wife was standing right there too. How did she respond? She didn't. Her back was to us. I gave his hand a slap and he withdrew it, but later managed to fall almost on my lap despite not being a mosh pit. I should have dropped him on the floor and given him a couple kicks, but instead I just shoved him away. I'm a little ashamed for myself of that. Def, so happy HRT has given me Dabooba. This is like fucking nothing compared to the average Discord trans girl chat. Like, this is nothing. They are freaking out over trans employees talking and relating to each other about nothing. Like, my Sinatra cover band. I went with Milan, which is significantly more expensive. I paid, like, lower body, full Brazilian, getting my butthole zapped by a laser was shocking. Yeah, by the way, that's something that cis women do too. Laser hair removal is something that cis women do. Torso and face, although the face didn't do much. One NSA. Yeah, no, here, I'm just going to keep... One NSA official claims to use its pronouns, meaning that this person does not identify as human, but rather feels like a sexless, genderless thing. One Intel employees defend the usage of itself pronouns. Sorry, that one's hurting my voice. Claiming that not using them amounts to trans erasure. If that's someone's pronouns and you aren't using them on purpose, yes, it is. You are being a dick. It took me quite a while to feel comfortable when I used its pronouns. Eventually did click, and the discomfort went away. I mean, hey, same thing happens with they, them pronouns. I think I know that person. Several years. What is up to now? I understand we make some people uncomfortable. Keep in mind the dehumanizing aspect either A, doesn't apply, or is a positive effect when we're requesting it. So they're not saying that it is dehumanizing. They're saying that somebody may choose to use pronouns that way because they're okay with it, or it's a part of it. I have a friend who uses its pronouns because it helps them feel more detached, and that's how they want to be. Who the fuck am I to judge? Okay, that's fine. Queer was long used as a slur. Smart. Anyone ever feel comfortable using it? They really fucking thought that they were like, oh, this is the smoking gun. Look weird, not further clarify. Those are the pronouns it chose. That's erasure, even if I'm part of the community. Find it. If they say it's part of how they identify and share that with you, yes, yeah. Like, this is fucking. I can't. I was expecting some true, like, where's the piss kink? Give me the piss kink. Ethical non-monogamy or quote. Dog. He's writing this shit like this is the first time he's ever heard about polyamory. Like these are the people who are trying to legislate trans people out of existence, and they're like this feels like a 90s after school special, or like some, an expose on CBS where Intel employees use the chat room to discuss ethical non-monogamy, or what some people call polyamory. Many claim to be part of sprawling sexual networks and have a rich slang vocabulary about their sex lives. Quote, some of our friends are practically polymers with all the connected compounds, end quote. And it's like who... Polycule is a polyamorous group. Like a molecule, but instead of elements, it's people and the bonds between them. That's so fucking cute. That's so fucking cute. That is so cute for just like a quick way to describe that. Adorbs. It looks like a triple bond with P2 double bonds. Oh, they're science bitches. Okay. Partners reflect that as well. Yeah, I have partners who have partners. I have people I engage with who have partners. I have people I just flirt with who have partners. I have people I'm in DMs with who have partners. Read the full story. Okay, wait a fucking minute. That was the piss kink? Piss fetishes and gangbangs. So, okay. Homelander, have a good rest of your night. So, the piss fetishes were trans women talking about how it feels different to pee with a vagina. Just saying it was worth it. This is not, by the way, what a piss fetish is. Weirdest things give me euphoria is when I pee. I don't have to push anything down to make sure it aims right. It aims right. That's just a different sensation of urination. So that's apparently a piss fetish. And yeah, that's just exploring your body. That's just like honest medical analysis of yourself. And the gangbangs is talking about polyamory. This is the gangbangs. It's like a molecule, but instead of elements, it's people and the bonds between them. Oh my God. I can't even fucking... They're such fucking dishonest little weasels. Like, we just went over how Chris Rufo is a sniveling little weasel bitch liar. Right? Bazooka Horse, thank you for following. Serial Killer 9691, thank you for following. But, like, 8 months of membership. Oh my God, packed 1558. I've heard raunchier talk from my cishet coworkers at the mechanic shop. Oh, I bet those texts weren't even. No, those texts were not even like, to be pearl clutching at that level over that shit. I seriously have to question, like, just like, do you have any fucking friends, dude? And I'm not even in a, like, oh, you need some bros to hang out with. You need some locker room talk to put some fucking hair on your balls. Like, not even in that, like, overly macho way, but, like, do you sincerely have anybody that you go and just, like, talk to casually because you don't seem to recognize when it's obviously happening right in front of your fucking face? That's wild. Yeah, for the intelligence community. God, that was it. That was it. Chris Rufo, Hannah Grossman, kink and castration. These logs are lurid. Wide discussions of castration. It's not. Oh. You might have noticed that they aren't showing any of the actual conversations. They're just, this is so fucking, I can't even. No, they weren't even talking about it sexually. The most sexual thing they talked about in this lurid conversation, these lurid chat logs that apparently they had a ton of because those are from a bunch of different conversations. But the most lurid thing they fucking found was a lady going, yeah, I like penetrative sex now. That's it. There's no fetishism. There's no like, oh yeah, no, this really fucking turns me on and this is super hot and like this, that, and the other and I love putting this and this. None of that. It was just being like, yeah, this is a new experience for me and I like this more than I used to. Someone said booba. Someone literally said booba. That was the most profane thing I saw in the lurid chat log. Oh. Chris Rufo, next time you fucking talk, like, you come with like, oh, I've uncovered secret chat logs that show people with piss. I'm slipping into my solid snake. Otacon. I've uncovered secret NSA chat logs. They show piss kinks and something called polyamory. Like, next time, Chris Rufo, you're talking that shit, you better be fucking bringing the heat. This fucking weak ass, get out of my fucking face. Voltage use. For some reason, you saying positively ribald makes me want to break out into a positively ribald. That's funny. Anti-Elon rally. Channel 5 with Andrew Callahan. I think I just need recordings of you in snake voice saying absurd shit. Oh yeah, no, they will be using the. I mean, they basically already have. They've started firing like military generals and shit, who are like basically what they do. They're black. All right, let's see if the Coeur d'Alene teen detained allegedly making shooting. All right. Oh yeah, it's a mystery. Let's go to the Idaho Capitol Sun. So this is a notable development right now. Idaho, which is this is less than an hour away from me. Idaho has long been a bastion of far-right thought from the Aryan nations decades ago versus now, where there are so many far-right school board members. I went over to Idaho. I went over to this town last year. You may remember I went and I interviewed some God, that video is fucking funny. I went and interviewed some anti-gay, like, fire and brimstone street preachers who showed up to protest Pride, right? And that was fun. I don't know. I want to see if I can do something slightly bigger for Pride this year. I think I might try and I think I'm gonna try and interview some other folk too. For sure. Yeah, maybe that'll be a good idea. That's still a couple months away. I got time. And it's been a pressure cooker over in Idaho, I think, for a little while, where there has been so many people who will push for these things and there is no meaningful resistance against them. Now, what we have here: North Idaho woman forcibly removed from Kootenai County Republican Town Hall. Coeur d'Alene prosecutors dismiss citation. City revokes business license for security company identified as Lear Asset Management. A legislative town hall organized by the Kootenai County Republican Central Committee devolved into chaos Saturday when unidentified plainclothes security personnel dragged a Post Falls woman from the Coeur d'Alene High School auditorium for heckling legislators. Though the company that provided security for the event has been identified, town hall organizers and Kootenai County Sheriff Bob Norris claim no knowledge of the security personnel or who hired them. So they were essentially acting as black shirts for the Republican Party there. Like they were straight up acting as a Gestapo. The men who dragged Teresa Borenpole from the meeting worked for the private security firm Lear Asset Management. Reached by phone on Saturday and Sunday, the firm's owner, Hayden resident Paul Truett, declined to comment. As the town hall got underway and legislators made their remarks, Borenpole said the audience cheered and jeered at turns. Nobody was telling people cheering to stop cheering, but anytime there was a negative reaction, we were scolded, she said. I felt comfortable expressing displeasure because people were very openly expressing their appreciation for the legislators there. That's fucking fair. And you know what? That is a brave fucking woman. In Idaho, to be heckling a Republican gathering when you are surrounded by people, and I say this as somebody who knows what it's like to be surrounded by sycophants to fascists very well. To have the temerity to stand up and be like, nah, fuck this. That is a person with some fucking fortitude right there. Turning point came with Representative Ron Mendeev. Coeur d'Alene spoke about how he helps to take care of Idaho's public lands as co-chair of Resources and Conservation. I screamed, out of turn, admittedly. Phil Hart stole timber from public land, Borenpole said. That's when they seized on me. In 2010, Coeur d'Alene Press reported that Phil Hart, Kellogg, issued a $2,450 check to the state for the 1996 market value of logs he took from state school endowment land to build his home. Jesus Christ. Somebody was dressed in jeans and baseball cap. Do you want... Borenpole said she didn't recognize Kootenai County Sheriff Bob Norris at first when he approached her in the semi-darkness of the auditorium because he was dressed in jeans and a baseball cap. I was really dumbfounded because he said, quote, do you want me to pepper spray you, she recalled. That was the first thing he said to me that I remembered. Footage from the event showed Norris take Borenpole's arm with both hands and make multiple attempts to pull her from her seat. Borenpole said after she had declined to leave, Norris turned to the unidentified men and said, guys, get her. On video, she can be seen repeatedly asking the men to identify themselves. They did not. She asked Norris if the men were his deputies. He gave no answer. They didn't know which... Fuck. Nothing was done without him being aware. Norris denied knowledge of the event's security arrangement. Said he didn't know the security personnel. Fuck off. Oh. Fucking liar. Norris says he's received death threats and believes the incident is not being covered fairly. I don't care what your message is, especially in an open town hall like this, White said. We must respect everybody's First Amendment rights, regardless of what side of the aisle you happen to sit on. I know there's some people up here who probably disagree with me. Would like us to take action, maybe try and silence a voices in opposition. There's very little we can do with regard to First Amendment protections. No, see, because when you get right down to it, people like this want to shut down those First Amendment protections. They don't like other people coming into their spaces, actually treating them with the same disrespect that they treat everybody else. I would love Simric. God, I hope she fucking gets them to pay. They grabbed my wrist, they contorted my body, they lifted me up and dropped me down. My only thought was to maintain my airway. They were forcing me down on the ground. I just wanted to make sure I could still breathe. Officers declined the sheriff's request that Borenpole be arrested for trespassing. The sheriff wanted her arrested for trespassing. Are you fucking kidding? They didn't talk about how the person on stage... Let me see if I can find that video real quick. Violently dragged out by MAGA thugs. Let's see if I can find the whole thing, because... Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I thought I had to sneeze. Oh damn, there's a shit ton of angles on this. Holy crap. The thing I didn't see before was or that they didn't mention in the article was that this woman was being mocked by the people on stage.
Well, a woman in North Idaho was dragged from a town hall meeting when she spoke out against the policies being discussed. Organizers say she was disrupting the meeting. Abby has been tracking the fallout today. Abby, what did you learn?
Hunter, it was at a Kootenai County Republican Central Committee Legislative Town Hall. Teresa Bourne-Paul came as a resident to listen to lawmakers, and she ended up in the emergency room.
You're assaulting her.
Teresa Bourne-Paul was attending a Kootenai County Republican Central Committee Legislative Town Hall Saturday, discussing topics like Medicaid and school vouchers, when she was forcibly removed from the meeting.
All of our elected officials in Kootenai County and surrounding areas are all Republican, and so that is why the Republican Party did the town hall. The auditorium was full.
Bourne-Paul, who has previously run for a seat in the Idaho House as a Democrat, tried to ask a question during a discussion about reproductive rights. Her friend.
Now, the thing that I really want to call attention to in this, and I want to see if I can get a better angle on it, but it is how people reacted to her. It's a New York Post, has it? Dem candidate dragged out of chaotic Iowa town hall. They removed her for being disruptive.
All right, hold on one moment here. Okay, again, you folks who are just popping off with stupid remarks, you're not taking into account.
So what we're seeing is the populist isn't the right word. The tide of fascism in action, where the mob mentality of fascism in action, that's a better way to say it. Where you have a gathering of people and they feel vindicated, they feel powerful, they feel justified in silencing, harassing, and assaulting anybody who gets in their way. That's what this clip shows to me. If this is the one I'm thinking of.
The people sitting next to you. There's an opportunity for you to sound off, but not right now. And because you're not smart enough to know that, you're just crazy people. And what we're doing right now is just pausing. Get them out. If you can't be civil.
These, by the way, it's important to know. These are the faces of modern fascism in America, by the way. Probably someone's grandparents, probably several people's grandparents.
Get out!
Get up or be arrested.
So you know, folks, when our nation began, there was some really
You're gonna arrest her?
My name is Robert
What I'm doing up here is I'm simply over talking you because your voice is meaningless right now. And we're just taking care of the rabble-rousers. And eventually what's going to happen is everything's going to settle down and we'll get back to hearing the legislators. Because really, you didn't come here to listen to me. Just talk for on and on and on. And look at this. This little girl is afraid to leave. She spoke up.
What a fucking misogynistic piece of shit. You have a woman being harassed by 4 grown-ass men, and you're saying, this little girl is afraid to leave. You mayonnaise, pillberry, doughboy, former football star, high school quarterback, dipshit fuck. Are you kidding me?
Where these folks are trying to filibuster and shut this whole program down. Unfortunately, they're being successful.
No, she doesn't need to go with anybody without saying, who are you? Who are you? Like, she's asking who you fucking are. You better have a security badge. You better have something. Otherwise, you're not fucking touching me. She would be well within her right to defend herself.
All of you who came here to hear the legislators, I applaud you for sitting there.
Don't touch her. This isn't the sheriff. Excuse me, Sheriff Norris. This gentleman is assaulting you.
You out
this
now.
Man is assaulting
you out
me.
now. Let's go.
This man is
That is apparently a sheriff. That's apparently a sheriff. This is Idaho. Fuck. You out now. You gotta stomp his little feet.
Is this your deputy? These are deputies. Who the f are these men?
So how about that? Oh my goodness.
Come
on,
Hey, hey.
And listen to that. That's the part. That part at the end. Is you are going to watch people like this remove any dissent, anybody brave enough to stand up, without knowing who's removing them, who's assaulting them, who's harassing them, where they're going to go, what's going to happen to them. And all of these fucking people, this sea of white faces whose politicians are taking advantage of their ignorance, are going to clap and stand by and do nothing. Does the title say Iowa? No, it's Idaho. You got Idaho, Coeur d'Alene, Iowa. It's not fucking Iowa.
It's too bad that we have some 150-year-old Social Security who's
Look at these fucking wretches. Laughing, smiling, as a woman is literally being fucking assaulted to silence her.
Cooperate, it'll be 100 times better.
Yeah, that's what they say to rape victims. You refuse to identify yourselves. Who are you? Who are you?
All right, chat. We've got a couple options tonight. We could do actual Jake. Jake is always a good time. Has a lot of good takes on things, talking about MAGA cutting Medicaid, so you can go deeper down the rabbit hole. Or we could go to Surus. Right now, Surus only has 28 viewers and looks like he is playing World of Warcraft. What are we feeling? Surus or actual Jake, y'all? I'm fucking tired after that one. I mean, like, I've been tired, but I think I'm tapped out after that one. Surus, let's go say hi to Surus. Alrighty, thank you all so much. Keep an eye out on streams and stuff coming up, and highlight videos and stuff too. And thank you for stopping in. I hope you all have a good rest of your night.